Well, yay! Hello, viewer. It is Sunday, December the 3rd, 2023. I am Mr. Brown, and I trust you are all doing very well today. On this evening's live stream, we are discussing the goings on this week in the entertainment and on the social media. It was a week where some things happened in Jollywood, and even more bad stuff happened in real life. Oh dear. Oh dear. Quickly, may I say, rest in peace, Shane McGowan of the Pogues, who died this week. Rest in peace, Shane. Okay, so if you've not shut down for the evening, as I always say, lots to get through. Shall we get those guests out? You know it. Let's do it. Of course we should. Okay, so first up, all the way from the land of Texas Shire, she's the queen of this channel. It is Rennie L.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
Doing well. Had an interesting weekend. Hubby and I took our license to carry class today, and I shot perfectly. I got a perfect score on my target, so I'm feeling
Oh,
pretty
good
good.
for you.
Don't hate me because you ain't me, bro.
I will say, this is for the chat. Is that fucking guns, by the way?
Yes, license to carry is pretty much regarding guns, but yeah, so it was pretty cool. I did very well, and I'm very happy about that because I was super nervous. So,
Good for you. Apparently, Jay Goodwin wins. Well done, mate. I knew you'd. Yeah, Jay Goodwin wins. He said it'd be me who swore first. So great to have you on, Rennie. Shall we get the next person out?
do it.
Okay, we see the good inside our next guest. He is the dark Sith Lord Chord. It is Little Platoon. Are you going to let yourself on, Lord?
Oh, that's unusual. Okay, yeah, okay, fine. Why not? Hello.
Just to see if you was paying attention,
Are
Lord.
you not in charge of this channel?
No,
Oh, fair enough.
no. Hello, Lord.
Hello. How is everyone?
Not bad. How are you
Good.
doing?
Oh,
Yeah,
Christmas
much.
avatar.
Yeah, Christmassy avatar. I know. I like the full Streamlabs version has all the background and a nice little snowflake effect, and it's got the tinsel and the Christmas lights, and
Ooh.
it's all festive and lovely. And I'm sitting here in a house which is absolutely fucking barren
Yeah.
of no decorations at all. So my online persona is much more Christmassy than my real life one.
Is it
There we
cold
go.
where you are? I'm
It's a
fucking
little bit,
freezing.
yeah, nipping out a little bit, yeah, definitely.
Ugh. How's the channel going, my friend?
I haven't checked it recently. Okay, I
Been
think
quiet, hasn't it?
still, yeah. Well, everything's quiet, but it's all Marvel stuff still happening. So once that's up, then I shall check the channel
Christ.
again.
Yeah. Okay. It's great to have you on, Lord. Shall we get
Good
the
to be
next
here.
person out?
Do it.
Okay. Next, she is the channel's very own Dirty Bird, a chat fave. It is Vex Electronica.
Hello. Hi,
Hello there.
everyone.
Hi.
How are
How are
we
you?
doing tonight?
Okay. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm self-medicating now to get through the days, but otherwise doing pretty good.
You're looking very festive there with the little hat.
It's my little birthday hat cuz my birthday is this week.
Oh,
Happy birthday in advance.
happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
Yeah, happy
This is
early birthday.
this is my way of celebrating because I can't actually celebrate my birthday this year. So it is.
Oh,
Oh, I
Why
don't
is
I don't
that?
get
mind.
the violin out, everybody.
No, I'm working, that's why,
Oh.
and my husband's coming at the end of the month
Is
anyways,
he?
so we'll have yeah. Oh,
Oh.
don't you
Rawr,
know
rawr, rawr.
it. uh,
Get out the
so
cellophane. No, just
we'll
kidding.
we'll celebrate then. But I'm still gonna make a cake this year either way.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
did we decide which one? I do believe there's a Poel.
There was a poll, so chocolate bourbon was the winner.
What?
hmm So it's like a chocolate bourbon actual cake, and then the frosting is brown butter with bourbon in it as well.
Brown butter. Is that a euphemism?
Oh, always with me.
At this point, though, shouldn't you just skip the cake and go straight to the bourbon? Because the cake seems a bit superfluous.
I know, right?
But it's not a birthday without cake, so.
Here you go, folks. I was thinking this as well. Smilex. Ooh, Vex is Sagittarius. I'll add this to the dossier. Have the 30th.
I'm gonna be celebrating with Smilex on Friday, anyways, because I'll be on B-roll.
With the otters, yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Will you be wet? Is it dry as a otter's pocket or wet as a otter's pocket? Is the saying? I can't remember.
Depends on the time of day, I guess.
Great to have you on, Vex. Shall we get the next bod?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, big one, this, folks. Next, the prodigal son returns. Here he is, folks. Movie Cynic.
Oh, hey, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Oh no, what's this wanker doing here?
How are you doing, you little semen demon?
Oh, dear. Hello, Movie Cynic. How are you doing? It's been a while, my friend. Great to have you back, mate.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Sorry, I sound weird. I'm still on these Bluetooth headsets. I'll return to form here shortly. But yeah, it's good to be back, man. It's been like 3 months.
Oh,
Ages.
I think it's been longer than that, in all honesty.
Yeah.
probably. Absence makes the heart go fonder, my friend.
Oh,
It's grow,
indeed
not
it
go.
does. Yeah.
How's the channel going? I know it's going amazing, but is it going really amazing?
Yeah, except for the video that I put out yesterday. But yeah, the channel's doing great, and it's I hope to ramp it up next year. This is like an easy close to the year this December. So and we got Aquaman coming out.
Mhm.
Oh, ka-ching, ka-ching,
Yeah.
And Rebel
ka-ching.
Moon.
Yeah, and Wonka.
Oh, that's next week.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
That was
It's
Wonka,
an
by
easy
the way,
one.
everybody. Movie Cynic, genuinely great to have you back, my friend.
Likewise.
Shall we get the
it's
next
good to be
peep
back.
out?
Let's go.
Shall we get the governor out? The old man. Yes, I think we should. Okay, and last but by no least, he is the wise elder of the channel. He's been slutting around this weekend on other channels. You know the rest. He's a great mega geek himself.
Hello. I'm eating hobnobs today.
See, look, they're coming in
What are
already. Look,
hobnobs?
they're coming in already. Look.
Do you know what hobnobs is?
It's a
No.
proper man's biscuit, the hobnob.
It is. And
doesn't
chocolate
It's a
as
what?
well.
It's a man's biscuit. It doesn't. It's one of the
Oh.
few biscuits that doesn't go limp in your tea.
Ooh.
Well,
Oh, hello.
I could say, why are you eating them then, Lord? But I won't.
Because
Meow.
like, why would I want something
Meow.
that goes limp in my tea? It's no fun.
Absolutely.
How are you
Wow.
doing, Ian?
All right. Looks like we've got the band back together.
Yeah, the
Feels like
band's
it.
back together. I think we might actually do something with the band, unlike Force Awakens. You know.
Don't even mention that rubbish. It was shit. Anyway, it's good to be. It's good to be back.
Shit, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been slatting it around. Yeah, but people keep, because of this Doctor Who rubbish, people keep asking me to be on their stream because they do Doctor Who. So I'm all Doctor Who out, to tell you the truth.
You
but there
will
you
be
go.
pleased. There's no Doctor Who
Good.
this evening because we
Good.
covered it
Hallelujah.
yesterday. I think we said enough, didn't we? Yesterday, Ian.
We did.
I think you
It's-
beat Doctor Who into the ground on
It-
its shittiness.
I know it's going to get back up next week, isn't it? But anyway, okay.
Is that
shall-
including race swapped Isaac Newton? Did you include that?
Yes. Yeah.
You had to mention it.
So- I saw that image and it just
What about the rubbish?
it tickled me quite a bit.
Didn't tickle anybody
Evening
else.
chat.
though.
Good evening, chat.
And that
Anyway.
whole bit was just there so they could do a running gag about gravity being called mavity, which wasn't
Yeah.
even funny.
What does that
How
mean?
you
I don't
spend
understand what that
money on that.
means.
It means
gonna
they,
come back.
they changed the past, and so
Yeah.
it changed the future.
Yeah, I think it's going to come back and the usual rubbish. But that line about the Doctor being gay, it's gonna yes, the next Doctor's he's definitely going to say he's gay, and it's just good luck.
Foreshadowing.
But you know what?
meat.
We kind of called that
Give me
a
the
while
meat.
back with the actor that's going to be playing him anyways, Ian. So, I mean, it's not a
Shooty.
surprise.
I am the Doctor Man. Sorry, no, was that bad? That's terrible.
Oh my
Shall
god.
we get some graphics up? Yeah, I think we should.
Oh,
Okay,
hello.
181.
What's up, Elon?
Yeah,
Mm.
lofty pixels this week. Banger.
It's a horrible pick of Musk.
That's from
It's
the conference thing.
Do you know
Yeah.
what? Right,
I don't think he
when I
looks on
watched that
top form.
conference thing, and I was saying to myself, this is one of the richest people in the world, yet he's a bit overweight and he's dressed really badly. I
yeah,
thought,
he does.
don't know, I
He's
like
a
his
bit
jacket.
eccentric in his attire.
yeah. Oh well, that was my thought for the day.
Oh well, moving on. Okay, Musings, Sunday, December 3rd. Please like, share, subscribe.
You can read it now.
Yeah,
That's
donate
right.
if you're feeling generous. Christmas just around the corner. Okay, so this is out in the States, not out over in Blighty yet. We've got another 2 weeks, haven't we? It's Godzilla -0.
Mm. Are they
-1.
-1,
-1,
sorry.
I think.
are they
It's doing
in-
very well.
in England? Are they gonna have subtitles or are they gonna have it dubbed?
It's the Japanese version that's getting an international release, so it's all
Ah.
subtitles.
Oh, okay.
Thank God.
Okay.
Anybody seen it yet?
Not yet. Next weekend I'm going.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
haven't seen it, but I really want to. I heard it's going to be pretty awesome. So I'm excited.
I'm a massive Godzilla fan, so I've been looking forward to this since it was announced. I haven't caught it this weekend, but maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm kind of shocked. Everyone's shocked that this is good. The last Godzilla movie was Shin Godzilla, and that won the Japanese equivalent of Best Picture. Like it was a fucking amazing movie.
Wow.
It like modernized Godzilla in a way where it's like Godzilla was always about social commentary, and they modernized it. Like it wasn't the nuclear commentary of the end of World War II. It was a modern update, and it worked. And I'm shocked that everyone's shocked. This is so good. I knew from the onset this had a chance of being amazing.
So,
I
'cause
think because the American movies weren't that great. Like, I'm assuming that you used to watch like the old school Japanese
Oh, hell
movies
yeah.
from way back when, because I loved those when I was a kid. I would always watch them
same
when
here.
they would
Really
replay
great.
them.
Yeah,
So
I think
this got me excited.
when people think of Godzilla, I like even though the American versions are out, like it's still just a fun romp and shit, right?
So-
Like it's just
Yeah.
silly Godzilla. But the original Godzilla movie is an absolute classic. It's not
awesome.
just a monster film. And I think people forget that Godzilla can be more than just a
is this
silly
out of-
man in a suit.
Absolutely.
Is this out of copyright though? How comes the Americans can make Godzilla and they can make Godzilla?
Because Toho licensed Godzilla and certain monsters
right.
to Hollywood. What was it? WB? Yeah, WB.
Yeah.
They can only use certain monsters though.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we do some? Obviously, that's the poster. Should we do some little stories about it? Obviously, none of us seen it, but we're okay. I think
I don't know why you ask. You know you're going to.
there is that. Okay, Gary posted this. The message divides. Good stories bring people together. So those are the ratings on the.
Wow, great. Look at that.
Nice. Like neck
Unbelievable.
and neck.
Nice.
Hopeful, yes.
I'll go and see it. I'm not really a big Godzilla fan, but I'll definitely go and see it.
Yeah, I just I like monster movies. Like I'm not a Godzilla fan, but I like monster movies, and this is one of those things that looks like it would be worth going to the cinema for. So that's why I'm personally going to go see it. But this is nice. This is nice to see that everyone is on the same page about a movie.
Yeah. That's
it
not
was,
typical nowadays, right?
It's a pleasure for me because it's Godzilla.
Exactly.
Like since I started my channel, I think I've thrown Godzilla Easter eggs in videos and stuff. Like I love Godzilla, so it's so great to see him and just the franchise in general getting this kind of feedback. Like the MonsterVerse in Hollywood, like it's made money, but they weren't critical or even with audiences. They
They were
not
absolute
praised
dog
as-
shit, is what you're
Yeah,
trying to say,
thank you. I'm trying to fan sugarcoat it a little bit, but yeah.
I think I enjoyed the first couple of Godzilla, but it kind of went off the rails a little bit. I think the last one was pretty piss poor. You know, the Hollywood one.
Yeah,
The
it was.
first
Godzilla
one.
versus
I
meh.
forget what it was called, but I really enjoyed the first one.
Are they going to make another American Godzilla? Because they'd probably call it a
Yes.
she, wouldn't
I'm
they?
pretty sure they will. to
There's
be
another one
honest.
coming out in July.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Godzilla and
another it's a
Godzilla,
prequel
the
to
female
versus Kong.
Godzilla. Yeah.
Okay, so Gary posted that because he's seen it, he loved it. So, okay. Considering Godzilla -1 was made for a reported 15.15 million, the film is visually stunning. Visually stunning powerhouse of emotion that stands leagues above many of Hollywood's modern blockbusters this year.
But isn't that what happens when you're not spending all your money on like actors or actresses with like huge like egos that think that they're worth more than they are, and you're actually focusing on story and you know the little things in the movie? I don't know. That's just me.
That ought to be the lesson, which is that actually a good story is not particularly hard or indeed expensive to make. And you can compensate for lack of big budget A-list stars and even absolutely top-notch effects if your story carries the film, which from what I've heard of this one, it does. You know, it actually has characters you want to see and that you give a shit about, unlike all of the Monsterverse ones where they tell you that you shouldn't really pay attention to the characters because it's all about the monsters, and yet the whole film is like shitty humans talking crap at each other. Whereas this one sounds like it won't be that. So yeah, like don't spend hundreds of millions of dollars on VFX sort of showcases if you don't have a story to tell, because you will not be as successful as a very, very small budget film by modern standards, which does have a story to tell.
There's a bigger story here, isn't there? The reason why they do that is to keep the infrastructure of Hollywood, you know, without the stars, you know, without people getting paid X amount of money, there's no, you know, there'll be no money of that amount to be made, and they want to keep that, don't they? They don't. If they make a film like this with hardly any stars and a huge success, then it's a threat to their way of life, isn't it? The way of making millions and millions, and one actor owns millions for one film, isn't it? So that's the reason why. That's the way I figure it. You know, I don't know about you guys.
Just for context, though, 15 million US is about 2.2 billion Japanese yen.
Mm-hmm.
So
it costs $2 billion to make.
Yeah, it's expensive for them, not necessarily for us after
No, because I mean the exchange rate tracks, so like it's not proportionately that much more expensive in Japan. It's just that the currency is devalued, and so like you're used to dealing with immense amounts of physical currency just because the currency isn't worth very much. My pet theory for why Asians are so good at maths is that their currencies are so devalued. And so, like, where we can say it's only $10 million over here, but they have to say, well, it's 5.679 billion, and then you have to do like basic grocery calculations with that. So obviously, like, you're ingrained to be good at numbers, but it's not proportionally that much more expensive. It's the non-racist point I was trying to make.
It's opening weekend US. It's made $11 million, $11 million. In the
That is
US.
not bad for a Japanese Godzilla movie.
Yeah,
I think it would have made more if it wasn't such a limited release as well. Because I know some people had to drive 2 hours just to get to a theater where this was playing. For me, I got to drive an hour to go see it at the closest theater to me. So
I live in a pretty big city,
the domestic market's going to be really strong for this one, and so you know the US is effectively the international audience for this. So it will be interesting to see like how it performs in the Japanese domestic, and then obviously how well it cuts through in America, where it isn't getting a full sort of suite of cinema releases. But if it's already made 11 million in just in America, then it's doing pretty well, I would imagine, in total.
Yeah, as I said, 2 weeks for Blighty. I think it's a week. A week tomorrow. There's some previews, and then
I think in London
following
it'll
weekend.
be shown in art house theatres,
Yeah.
not the mainstream ones. I'll have to see
Cineworld are showing it. So
are they? Oh,
yeah, it's getting
Excellent.
a release over here. So yeah, I'm gonna go and see it.
I'll probably go and see it. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I just can't get over it. I've seen the trailer. It looks incredible. 15
looks great.
million.
Well, the Americans should basically give them some money to make films, and then they could, you know, pay less for it, and then they could benefit, you know, the box office.
It's just mind blowing. Making a film for so, relatively speaking, so little money. But anyway, let's move on.
We didn't move very far. Again.
Sidestep. Okay, Godzilla -1 director Takashi Yamazaki.
Good
Here we
job.
go.
Good job.
Wants to make a Star Wars film. Oh dear. I
Don't do it.
watched Star
Don't do it,
Wars,
mate.
and that's how I ended up being a filmmaker. I'm really hoping I will get a call.
But he already won't because he's just told everyone that he really likes Star Wars. And
Yeah, so they'll be like, nope.
Yeah.
But why even bother? I mean, like, it's so dead. They've killed all of the lore. Like,
Oh,
took what George Lucas created, tore it to
no.
shreds, took a shit on it, flushed it down the toilet, then brought it back up and burned it. So, I mean, what else can you do with it?
Well, if
I wouldn't be
he's
surprised
willing,
if I think he probably could do a really good job. I just don't think
They
he'd
won't
be
let him.
allowed to do
But
a
Yeah,
it's
he
job.
won't
too
be.
late to save it. You know what else? What could you do that was
He
actually
won't be allowed.
faithful
He
or
won't be allowed.
decent entertainment?
Yes, I'm saying he won't be allowed to make the Star Wars that he wants to make. You know,
What do you mean, decent, good Star Wars?
that's right. Absolutely, they'll trash him, wouldn't they?
I wonder what he could make for $15 million if it was all farmed out to Japan.
Yes, I'm saying a really big film, innit? If the currency is right. So yeah. Star
It would be great. It
Wars.
would be all the good ingredients for a Star Wars film because if you were allowed to do exactly what he wanted, then obviously he'd have a bigger budget than this. But this is a guy who's come up doing relatively low budget things, making the best use of practical effects and relatively limited use of CGI by comparison, which kind of forces you onto a smaller scale story, which focuses more on characters and story than big flashy effects. And combine that with what sounds like a genuine love of the franchise. And I think those are all brilliant ingredients. What Star Wars needs is to be very far into the future, completely disconnected from everything that's gone before. And it needs to start on a small scale in much the same way as the franchise began and create a new saga on a strong character basis. And a director who can do that without, lapsing into the tendency in modern Hollywood to compensate for story by huge visual vistas would be really, really, really good for the franchise. So it won't happen, obviously. But
here you go, folks. Jim D. Hollywood budgets are all just a massive tax scam.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
It is. It's just a gravy train, isn't it? Really, effectively.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they will never make a film with a low budget, and then otherwise it's just destroying the way of life for them, isn't it? And that's the way of life for them, especially the execs at Warner Brothers and stuff. They get a huge amount of money, don't they? So and the company a tax break as well. So yeah,
Just put brown in it and make it lame.
So it probably cost more than $15 million before they've even got pen on paper, just by greasing palms, as it were. Okay, let's move on. Depressing.
Sidestep.
Okay.
You already know.
CCXP23 is going on at the present time, isn't it? A big.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that based?
Los Angeles.
Yeah. Did you
What's
see
this?
the Dune or is it June presentation? Somebody threw something and it hits Florence Pugh in the face.
Oh, really?
Did not look happy.
Wow.
Wait, what was it though? What was it though?
A bag of dicks, probably. I don't know.
I would be happy. Why would you not be happy about that then? Hold on. Her reaction.
They were all taking.
That was me. Because,
what from where
she was too close to Timothée Chalamet, and I thought, no, fuck you, go away. He's mine. So I loved some stuff with her.
Oh,
Totally believable.
Yeah, just check it out, folks. It just dropped before we came on. Florence Pugh getting one in the face. She did not look happy.
What did she get in the face?
Jizz? A single dick? I don't know. A job offer? I don't know. A contract? Fuck knows. Okay. This dropped though. Anybody see the trailers before it came on? This is the Hollywood version.
Oh wait,
that's
there's
out.
new trailers as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it dropped today.
Yeah. Was it Kong? Was it
Godzilla versus Kong?
It's it's Godzilla X Kong in this case. So it's like the shipping community's had its weird way with these things, as it always does.
Yeah.
rise together or fall. This already looks just unbelievably shit and cringe compared to
Yeah.
Godzilla
It's
-1.
Yeah.
So it's a prequel to the one that came out, what, 2 years ago, right?
Ugh.
And,
Yes, I think
yeah,
so.
so
The one I
this
didn't
time
like.
they're going to be working together. That's why it's
Hold on,
X, not
wasn't that on
V.
Netflix?
Wow.
It was on Netflix, wasn't it? The last one?
It might have been.
Yeah, it
It
was.
wasn't when it came out
Because of the
initially,
pandemic.
but
Because of the pandemic, right? It was
well,
on
no,
It
it
got
launched on
released.
HBO Max and in theaters at the same time.
Oh, really? I saw it on Netflix.
I mean, it could have come to Netflix
Maybe in
afterward.
the
There was a
UK.
Godzilla.
Yeah, I thought they were
yeah.
releasing it to the cinemas here.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
cinematic release. Yeah.
I'm assuming nobody's seen the trailer for this.
No.
No, I did
Nope.
see some photos though, and I saw that they gave Rebecca Hall a rug muncher head, which is quite disappointing. So she's a cute woman. Why would you do that to her?
Because they're not allowed to be sexy anymore. What's the matter with you? Get with the program.
My initial reaction was, I'm sick of seeing CGI. I've just had enough of it.
Sick of seeing hot women being
It's
dumbed
just,
down.
it just looks like I suppose, a very, very good video game intro, and I'm just a bit sick of it.
You're
now.
over it.
Get over it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
practical. Or is it just me?
I mean, that's a point I'll touch
no.
on later because there might be something in your slideshow later that involves that. So
So do
Cynic,
want
are
to
you-
go
are you-
backwards, Ian? Backwards to the days where there was a man in a suit, with little small little town and stuff.
Well,
You know
isn't
what,
the,
though? But those
Japanese
movies
one-
were
The
great.
Japanese one is.
Yeah,
With
they
a
were
man?
great. They were great, actually.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think we've gone too far the other way now
Yeah.
with the over
Subconsciously,
reliance.
your mind doesn't accept CGI anymore. If something looks
No,
spectacular,
it's gone.
in CGI,
No,
yeah,
it's
just
gone. It's
yeah.
gone.
Never mind.
I just think
Moving on.
Yeah, okay. But well, they're not aimed at me anymore, are they? So, or are they? Stream killer. Okay. Did anybody see this story? Universal is
Yes.
working to replenish stock after the 4K UHD copies of Oppenheimer sold out almost instantly.
that's really nice to hear.
Wow, a
Really nice to hear.
cinephile filmmaker
Nice.
had his 4K UHD Blu-ray sell out to cinephiles. Shocker. They should have anticipated that. I guess the kind of filmmaker Nolan is. His audience is filled with cinephiles. Of course, that's going to sell
Here you go. Sword in the Storm. That Blu-ray really blew up. It did.
Yeah.
And is Erwick and false shortage marketing.
I'm going to get in here before chat does because it comes up in every fucking chat when Oppenheimer is mentioned. So I'm just going to say right now, I bet it bombed in Japan, and we've got that done now. We don't have to do it again. No one make that.
Well, we do
joke,
actually because it bombed twice, didn't it?
If it
On the
wasn't
release.
for Brown saying it almost every time, the chat probably wouldn't have said it.
It might have actually sold out for real. 4K UHD is niche. It's not like, like
Yeah.
100 million people across the world own 4K UHD Blu-ray players.
Yeah, there's a general trend as well, which is I would imagine most of these companies make, on average, fewer physical copies of media just because they don't sell as well overall. And so when one rare occasion when it really does sell very, very well, it's really just more indicative of the fact that they don't expect these things to sell well anymore, that they've run out, as opposed to it being evidence that there's some resurgence in love for physical media.
Yeah,
which there
because
might be.
didn't Best Buy and Walmart both announce that they're stopping selling
did.
like, physical?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they might need to revisit that decision.
It's good to get physical media anyway because they're trying to get rid of films. You can't get Cocoon, the film Cocoon. They're trying to get rid of that as well for some reason, and it's really hard to get a copy of that.
Okay, if I remember correctly, did I say that Best Buy and Walmart are stopping selling physical media because they're
I'm
tired
pretty
of
sure.
people just taking it off the shelves for free?
I don't know if
And
that was the
walking out.
reasoning, but
I don't know
It has
if that's
nothing to do with
why.
sales.
Looting, in other
Yeah.
words. That was a joke. Moving on.
Ah,
Very
But
poor
don't they
joke,
don't
but
they
anyway.
just have the empty box on display, and then you have to go up to the counter, and then they put the disc in the box, right?
No, that
No,
was only Blockbuster.
yeah, that was when you rented those. If
Oh,
you
no.
wanted to
Behind
All right,
the
so you
buy
can
them-
actually just take them off the
No,
shelf.
over here, with the, especially in Asda's, they don't have the disc in the box at all. You have to go up
Oh.
when you
Huh.
want it. You have to say, "I want this," and then they put the disc in the box for you. They're not stupid enough to leave the disc in the box on display.
No,
Because
they
then
don't
people will
do
just
that
steal
here.
it.
It's like it's
No, it's
in
just on the shelf.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's
Just
in
go
there
grab
and
it.
it's sealed up with like plastic wrap or whatever they
Oh, no
use.
wonder why
and
people
it's got a
steal it
little has a little thing on the inside, so
Oh,
when
yeah,
you walk
yeah,
through
yeah.
the detector, it goes
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
you-
they don't give a shit.
But
about
you
that
have to
anymore,
catch them,
do
don't you? You have to
Yeah.
catch them. 'cause
Yeah,
they're running.
Yeah.
someone would actually have to give a fuck in order like,
Is it,
about that thing going off.
Yeah.
Is it in California under $800 they won't prosecute or something like that?
$900. Yeah.
So you could just
That's
walk in,
crazy.
get yourself a PlayStation, get some games, couple of
That's why
films.
all the Oppenheimer DVDs are gone. That's why.
because they've been stolen.
Yes.
Here you go.
$900, man.
Cinephile.
Tai Fong, I'm ignorant. What's the downside of buying a digital copy? Are they not in 4K?
There's a couple things with that. So for one, when you own a digital copy, the company owns your copy. You do not own it. So they can, like, they don't a lot of the times, but sometimes they can delete things directly out of your library if they lose the license to it. It's gone, even though you purchased it. It's gone. Bye. And when it comes to actually streaming 4K, it is compressed. Everything's compressed. And so, right. So then when you're watching like a 4K stream, it's just not going to look as good as if you had a full physical copy that has all of its data right there that isn't compressed at all.
The other thing as well is that they can make changes after the fact. And so if you want the original version, which no one will ever touch again, no one will swap guns for walkie-talkies, or in Marvel's case, they won't get around to finishing the visual effects and then pretend that it looked that good all along, then yeah, you need to get the physical copy, because some of the news that came out a couple of months ago at this point of, the version of She-Hulk, for example, that we watched when it was on Disney Plus, didn't have the finished VFX in it. They were only added about 6 months after the show went out. So like the version we all saw and criticized has now been changed, but that's only cosmetic stuff. You've also got examples of the increasing amounts of censorship of bad words, for example, even if it's something as simple as bleeping it, or it can be something more important like cutting entire scenes out. All of that's possible when you only own the thing digitally. Whereas if you own it physically, obviously they can't patch it after the fact.
That's true.
Learn how to burn CDs, guys. There you go. Just buy the digital, put it on a disc.
Like Splash, isn't it? Splash, they hide what's her name's bum, didn't they? With the hair, they had digital
Daryl
hair
Hannah.
that covered her bum. So yeah, they can change anything they want.
You go, Atom Grey. Amazon wiped out my purchases MP3 3S when they started Amazon Music. They're just gone.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
paid
this
for
is
them.
a big problem in gaming as well. I think Ubisoft had it happen a couple months ago where they just started removing certain DLC content that people had purchased over 10 years ago. So now they don't, even though they paid full price for it. And Destiny 2, that game's been out for I think like 3 years now, and all of the old DLC content that you would have paid like $40 for, all gone. You have no
What?
ownership. Yeah. So if you bought it, say at launch, and maybe you had kids or something, didn't have time to play it, and say you turned on your console today to play
You're
Destiny
fucked.
2, it's gone. That DLC is completely gone. You can't access it ever again. But you still paid full price for it, and you don't own it.
Don't you get your money back then if they do that?
Nope. No money back. Nope.
Can't you
All
sue
lost. What do you mean? How do you sue? Sorry, what?
Can
I
you
would just
them?
sue a massive company like that. They just have you for
Their
all
their
good.
explanation for it was because it's too much data to keep it all in there, and
But
it's
they're in
just like
breach. They're in
that
breach,
seems like
aren't
a
they?
whole
No,
lot of
actually, you
bullshit.
find a lot of, if you read the small print, when you download a game or watch a movie now from a streaming service or you download it digitally, then often, particularly in games, they'll frame the contractual agreement that nobody reads, but everybody signs as something like, you agree to use this service, but the provider reserves the right to withdraw the service at any time, kind of
Go
thing.
in,
So
terms of
they are
service,
allowed
mate.
to do it.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to
Chris.
It's still bullshit, but yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Ian?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you want to say what it is for the peeps at home? It's what?
Shit.
It is shit.
He said
Um,
it.
Okay, shall we move on?
Do it.
Yes.
He's a scary man.
Oh,
So, this
interesting.
show is kind of, believe it or not, thought about. Anybody see this week?
Yes.
This is Warner Discovery stuff, isn't it? That's getting binned from the Sony store. Vex, do you want to say what the store is?
It's the Sony store?
Is it the is it
PlayStation
Sony that's deleting from the PlayStation store? Sorry.
I mean, PlayStation's owned by Sony, so you could use it interchangeably. It's all the
They're
same.
they're deleting content. Is it Warner Discovery?
It's Discovery content, but
Right.
that's part of Warner though now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's apparently only specific shows though. It's not everything. There's a full list you can find online. I think it's like a dozen shows or so. But that's pretty crazy. Like you bought this through the PlayStation store on your PlayStation console, and it's going to be gone by the end of the year.
Does anybody actually
That
do that
sucks.
though? Because it never really made a huge amount of sense to me back in the console wars when everyone was saying, "Oh, well, this thing has this immense media library and it's going to be an all-in-one. You can watch your DVDs, you can download shows." It's like, I just want to play good games. Granted, the PS5 doesn't have any of those, but even so, like, does anyone actually watch TV on a console?
No,
A lot of people do
No.
actually.
But
like so
why?
I've noticed on
I don't.
I've noticed on Xbox, like with the rewards program and stuff like that, I can go and like use some of my game rewards points to purchase like on sale digital copies of shows and all of that stuff. I honestly, most of the time, my console is on now just to have something playing in the background while I do work because I don't have time to always just game. So, yeah.
Vex, nowadays, right? Back in there when we used to buy games, you would go to the store, hand over your money. You would get if it was an Xbox, you would get a green case with a disc, and that's the entire game. You know, the kind of Xbox 360 days. What do you actually get now if you buy a game?
It's usually a prompt for a digital download, actually. So I've
Oh, yeah.
noticed, like several of the because I like to buy all of my games hard copy. I avoid digital
Yeah.
as much as I can, but there are some games that only get a digital release. But more often than not, it's a disc that will prompt a digital download. So like Modern Warfare 2, the remake when that came out last year, $80 disc, you go and buy it at the store, but as soon as you put the disc into the console, it prompts a 100 gigabyte download. There is nothing on the disc. Yeah.
Fuck.
So what I was actually pleasantly surprised is I bought a Harvest Moon game on sale for Black Friday, and when I put the disc in yesterday, it did not prompt a download. It was just like, this game is ready to play, and I was really shocked. So I mean, I guess it's far and few in between. I don't know how Nintendo Switch games work, but on console at least, it's usually a prompt now. There's nothing on the disc.
I've not bought anything on the Switch for a while, but the last few games I have bought on the Switch, they've all been on the cartridge, I think. I don't remember having to do big downloads after the fact. But that's itself, again, indicative that physical media as a whole is just going to disappear because they're still having to make the disc and they're still having to make the packaging. That is an unnecessary cost if all the disc does is prompt a download. And eventually they will stop doing that because there's no point in doing it at all. It's the same reason, you know, the cartridges, when Nintendo used to do cartridges and Sony came along with CDs, and cartridges were actually superior in a number of respects, but they just cost more to make. And so they moved over to CD. They accepted the loss, but it made more sense economically because you didn't have to manufacture this huge chunky plastic thing. The same thing will happen if all games on CDs do now as prompt downloads. They won't be doing that for very long.
We're all doomed.
We are. So what are the size? You know, the hard drives on consoles nowadays. What are they? What's the standard size?
Like 500 gigabytes to a terabyte.
Yeah.
So you can only effectively probably, if you had the smaller size, 4 games.
4 to 10 games, I would say, reasonably, yeah. Even console gaming has switched to a digital, like there's a digital option now for all consoles, basically. So
yeah,
what do you do
I've
when
got
it's
a ton
full?
of digital stuff on my PlayStation. Well, you have to uninstall them. So they stay in your library, so you still have access to them. But if you say, like, let's say I wanted for some inexplicable reason, because it becomes really boring, to go back and play Horizon Zero Dawn, That's been uninstalled on my console for about 2 years. If I wanted to go back and play it, I would have to download the whole thing again, which is a disincentive to actually go and play it again because I don't want to spend
So what
6 to
happens if
12
they
hours
take it off
downloading
the
it.
store, though?
If they do that, then it's gone. You can't have it again. It's not likely to happen with games, I don't think, as much as it is with shows. Not yet, anyway, but theoretically it can still happen.
Okay. Shall we move on? I think we should.
Sure.
Move along.
Move along. Okay. I saw this. Apple and Paramount are reportedly in talks to bundle their streaming services together, and apparently cheaper than the previous price for the individual channels. So that sounds like a reasonable deal, perhaps.
It's a good deal because I've
do we
got
think?
Paramount with Sky, so it's free. So hopefully if they do that, I can watch the shows on Apple TV. This is cool.
I hope so for your sake, but Apple's very big on being profitable, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out for you. I saw something about this the other day. I will say the one thing that I am excited about, I don't know if you guys have had Paramount Plus through either trials or you pay for it or whatnot, but it's very glitchy in my opinion. It's probably even, I'd say it's worse than Max since it's been converted from HBO Max to Max. It's the cheesiest streaming service I have experienced probably within
You're
the
talking about
last year.
Paramount?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, when it started over here, it was glitchy, but now it's fine.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that this rectifies some of the issues that they have, at least maybe in my area. I don't know, but at the same time, I don't trust Apple to keep the cost down forever. So they're eventually going to increase it. They're all about profit.
Oh dear. Anything to add? Anybody else?
The combination of like these two joining forces kind of makes sense. I was talking about it in one of my videos recently about like streaming platforms and how everybody made one and only few are going to succeed in the long run. So like this feels like the first domino to fall, kind of. I feel like we're going to see a lot of this in the future.
What you mean, Paramount's falling? It wouldn't be Apple.
No, I mean like well, yeah, but I mean like a combination of or like a consolidation of these things, because like you can't ask everyone to pay for 30 different ones because they all cost unbelievable amounts of money to maintain. And like how are they all going to continue to exist when like they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars to produce their content and no one subscribed to them?
Yeah, like even when Netflix first started really getting big, a lot of people said like this is going to be the new TV subscription service model eventually because everyone's going to have one. They're going to start bundling things because like you said, it's not profitable to be pumping out like She-Hulk $250 million for a series. And then people aren't even paying for the subscription service. They're getting it like free through providers, most people I know. So
well, it's also just like even the like what if 5 million people watch She-Hulk and it costs $250 million? Like in just if you're a subscription service, you're not generating revenue by like the box office or something. Like you have to just keep your subscribers happy and hope more come. Like if 5 million people watch a $250 million budgeted fucking show, that's crazy. Like that is such a failure. And I feel like She-Hulk is obviously the biggest example of that. But how many times have all these platforms probably had shows like that at this point?
It's pretty much everything that's on Disney Plus. She-Hulk, Secret Invasion, Ahsoka, Mando.
Yes, the catering is very expensive apparently for Disney.
That's because they keep hiring fucking Lizzo.
Break out your bananas.
Would Amazon join up with anybody or swallow anybody, as it were?
They would. I think they'd be open to doing that. More so even than Apple is, because Apple is generally slightly more savvy in terms of acquisitions than Amazon is.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like Peacock, for example, which I don't think is going to be long for this world, because I don't know a single person who has Peacock. I don't even know what's on Peacock. I don't really know what it is. But it's one of those
NBC.
Yeah, there's no way that's going to last. Is it? Is it really?
Because it has WWE.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't really see much that I liked on it.
Do not underestimate the power of WWE. It has
No, that's
100
true,
million
yeah.
Agreed.
subscribers on
Yeah,
YouTube. So
this is
that
the thing.
alone will
Disney
keep you
Plus, when Disney
afloat.
Plus was making headlines for losing like dozens of millions of subscribers, that was because they lost the rights to Indian cricket, for example, or they chose not to renew them. So sports rights and things like that, if you can call WWE a sport, that's debatable. But nevertheless, sports
It's
rights broadly are
entertainment.
incredibly lucrative.
Yeah, my point is kind of these big streaming companies, like Amazon and Apple, does this give them a legitimacy to kind of get some TV companies into the fold, as it were? Is that the plan?
Yes.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's TV companies and it's also rights to back catalog because that's
Yeah.
one of the few profitable areas of streaming. Netflix
Yeah.
will probably make more money on reruns of Friends than it will on Netflix originals. So if you get the rights to have the back catalog of Paramount on Apple TV, Apple's done pretty well there because Paramount's made some
Yeah.
pretty big films.
Okay, let's move on.
Oh, no,
Lots
speaking
of
of Paramount.
lots of trailers dropping this week, and
Did anybody watch season 1 though?
Yes.
yes,
Ooh, that was an experience.
Okay.
Vex, did you see the trailer for this?
I watched, I think, half of it, and I gave up. I watched 2 episodes of the Paramount series, and I thought it was fucking garbage. If there is ever just a textbook example of how you can literally be given a slam dunk and miss, it is this show. There is so much Halo lore out there that all like the
Unbelievable.
easiest option would be to just take a game, copy and paste all of the cutscenes, and that would be your season 1. I don't know how you fuck up. Like you can have retards
Yep.
on your writing team, and still it can be a slam dunk if you just copy and paste everything. So I don't understand how that happened. A and B, I don't know why they thought they could make a season 2 because even the wokies don't like this show. What is the incentive?
Well, it'll be something like Velma when the season 2 is actually written into the original contract. And so when people say, "Oh, we only got season 2 because everyone hate watched it," even though the season 2 was announced before most reviews came out, most of these things get bundled. Ahsoka was, I think, bundled in as well for 2 seasons. Lots of these. There was a period when all these brand new streaming shows were almost guaranteed to have 2 seasons baked into the assumption. It doesn't really matter how badly the first one does. In the case of Halo, incredibly badly. The second season was always going to happen. I don't think they can. I mean, I'm not a huge Halo fan. Does anyone think they can fix it, though? Is there anything they could do to repair what the season 1 did?
I don't know
Fucking burn this. Just ignore it. Start fresh. That's all you can do. That's all you need to do.
Steven Spielberg's company behind this.
Spielberg.
Like this, honestly,
so fucking
just you can
disappointed when this came out.
scrap it and start over. That's all you can do. There's no way to redeem this. No way.
I think they're doubling down as well because it looks like the girl is the key. A different girl is the key to everything this season. Again,
So, are they getting money from those billionaires scores things? Do you reckon that's
Probably,
why they've got
yeah.
season 2 up and running? So they want to push the message, blah blah blah.
perhaps the Covenant
Typical stuff.
are writing it, thinking man's joke. Okay,
Oh
so
Lord.
it's piss poor, isn't it? Disappointed. We've waited so many years for Halo,
Even the Corridor crew thought it was shit.
and God, it was fucking garbage.
If you do want like good Halo movies, there's 4 or 5 animated like 3D movies that came out. Go watch those. Those were phenomenal. Those are really good and super low budget. They were indie releases, but they got everything right. So go watch those if you want Halo content.
Yeah, so they threw a load of money at it, folks. They Hollywooded it, and it was shite. They couldn't wait to get the Master Chief's helmet off, could they?
Like Judge Dredd.
Yeah, couldn't wait to get it off. Anyway, let's move on.
Another one.
Another
Yeah.
trailer.
For anyone wondering what the next big trend in media is, yeah, it's gaming, right? We're going to have a lot of gaming stuff to look forward to next year.
Who predicted that?
What about? Oh, they did Tetris, didn't they?
This was actually really
That's right.
good.
Yeah,
That was one of the best films of this year, if anything.
Yeah.
I
TV,
would
that.
say.
Tetris.
Anybody see the trailer for this? Then I've not played the game. Vex, have you played the game?
I actually Fallout is probably the one major series I've not played a game for, so I can't. I saw the trailer. I thought it looked pretty good. A lot of people that I've talked to that are Fallout fans are like, it looks pretty okay, but it looks like they're taking a lot of inspiration from Fallout 4 and 76 for some of the art styles. But I'll check. I don't know. Maybe if between now and April, if I play a Fallout game, my opinion will change.
What's the story of Fallout?
You're just a scavenger in a post-apocalyptic world trying to survive, basically.
Yeah, it depends which game you're playing. So, like 3, for example, you start out in the vault, and like for reasons, the vault has fallen to pieces, and people die, and then you have to go out into the wasteland to try and find out what's happened, not only to your vault but to the world, and what the whole plan for everything was. And it's kind of proto-open world, I guess you'd call the earlier Fallout games. And some of them were really enjoyable. The last one I've played properly is 3. 3 was really good fun. And there's an immense amount of story potential in Fallout. The thing is that it had a really, certainly the early ones, I've not played 4 or 76, but the earlier ones had a very, very distinctive style to them. Particularly the sort of like retro dating things. Like it's all very 60s style, friendly animation in this really, really bleak post-apocalyptic setting, which is a lot of ground in there for humor as well, which the game's used to exploit quite well. The problem with the trailer, I thought, is that it looked so sort of flat and generic and streaming service like, and it doesn't seem to have a huge amount of the old character stuff in it.
What's this? Alt 69?
I do not know, but I suspect it's a gay joke.
It is a gay joke, yes.
Oh, is it across the chat?
Vaults are just a thing in Fallout. That's why. So Vault
okay.
69, yeah.
Aha.
It looks like
I don't
yes.
I don't have a lot of faith in Amazon, though. I think the only good stuff that I've seen they've put out hasn't been directly produced or developed by them, which is a shame. So I'm not too hopeful.
You don't have any hope, especially after the success of Rangs. Moving on.
Of what?
Rings of Power.
Oh.
My guess for this one is going to be that it's going to be generic, slightly girl bossy with Marvel humor and otherwise nothing particularly characterful about it. I'd love to be proven wrong. I love post-apocalyptic stuff. It's one of my favorite genres. And the earlier Fallout games are really good fun. So I'd love it to be good, but
Reach is season
sure
2 around the corner, by the way. Which looks pretty good. So somebody does have faith in Amazon.
I haven't seen Reacher, so I can check it out. And
season 1
is really good.
Yeah, season 1's really good. That I don't know about season 2 though, because it looks like they turned it into a generic action film. That's what it's like. Because in the books he wasn't like that. He was a drifter. He drifts into town. He's an adventure. Then he goes off and he drifts into another town. But this season 2 doesn't look like they're doing that for some reason. I don't know why. We'll see.
Shall we? It's a little sidestep, a tiny one.
Yeah, right.
This is the power suit. I thought that looked fucking really, really good.
Yeah, so my understanding is this is a suit from Fallout 4, which and some of the other set photos and stills that have come out also kind of reflect that again they're not going to the early Fallout stuff. They're going with just the last 2 releases mainly for inspiration.
Oh,
it does look very good.
Suit looks good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I think you can get power suits in the earlier games. That's one of the lovely things about Fallout is that it does actually try and create quite a for a post-apocalyptic wasteland. It tries to create quite a vibrant world out of that. There are many, many different factions. They're all quite characterful. They're all very distinctive. And the power suit. There's a particular faction. Is it the Iron? What is the Iron something or others in 3? I think all wear the power suits. It's a good design, and I like that they've actually made the suit as opposed to slap somebody in a green little latex thing.
There you go, folks. Jay Goodwin. That power suit will be perfect when it fits a woman.
Oh dear. That's
may I do a couple of super chats that I've been sitting on for a while?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It's your channel, bro.
I don't know how these are going to go. Assuming I can say them as well. Wait a second. For $2. Schindler's
Oh.
wife got lippy and felt Schindler's fists.
Dear,
Oh,
oh
boy.
dear.
Whale and Persephone again for $2. German fog equals Schindler's Mist.
Where did these
Yeah.
Schindler's
Oh,
List references
just
come
getting-
out of? Hold
you're-
on.
I don't know.
Your gags are getting worse, mate.
At my
Yeah,
university, though,
it's-
the lift in the main
Ugh.
building was made by a company called Schindler, so we called it Schindler's Lift, obviously.
Oh no.
Jesus. Ah,
Is that it?
Ugh.
It
Oh,
is.
there are more.
it is.
Okay.
Christ, that was
Okay.
bad. Okay, let's move on.
I like that suit though.
Oh, it does look fantastic.
Must
But
be
then I
really
thought
heavy.
again
Looks
the
heavy.
Master Chief suit looked incredible in Halo, and they couldn't wait to get the helmet off and be shit. But never mind.
Oh, well, I'm not going to watch this. This is just stupid.
Mm.
I suppose this was the big trailer this week.
Instead of making a Mad Max film, we decided to make a film about a tall woman with a bullet. I mean, come on. What was this? all about?
Hold on.
I did
hold on.
notice Anna Taylor-Joy billed first over
Chris
Thor.
Hemsworth, yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting
She
some
is
money from
Furiosa.
those
She's the
companies.
title character.
Why could they not get Charlize Theron back? I mean, I know she's aged a little bit, but why did it have to be Anya
But why?
Taylor-Joy?
No, this is a Mad Max thing. Why isn't Mad
Yeah.
Max in it?
And that
Hold
too.
on. Okay. I feel like people took all like this announcement way out of fucking context because we're used to shitty female-led films now.
Vex, thank you.
so
That
this
was going to be
movie-
one of my points. Thank you, Vex.
You're welcome. So this movie was announced right after Fury Road came out as a side story. So this is not a mainline Mad Max film. That's why Max is not in it. This takes place like 25 years prior as well. I think with Charlize Theron, the issue was it was a scheduling thing because they started filming this right before COVID hit. So that ended up
Wow.
throwing off a lot of things as well. But George Miller has said that he has looked at making this kind of story like with a another like a side character in the Mad Max universe since the 70s. So this is not coming
Okay.
out of left field. I think the way they put the trailer together unfortunately doesn't work in its favor. Like had they not opened with this is her story, I think we all would have a very different look at what this movie was because of the way it's framed in the first 10 seconds.
I don't believe it. Sorry. I think that's all bollocks.
Yeah, I
Absolute
would
Well, I was
bollocks.
going to say, is that a
say
good or a bad thing, then?
Because
Like-
George Miller, right, that he doesn't get much money from Hollywood and he was desperate for money. He was desperate to make another Mad Max film. Hollywood ignored him for X amount of years. Now he's definitely going the way of the message, and he decides to bring this out, and Hollywood's giving him some money. So he's going to make this shit instead of making another Mad Max movie. So I don't believe any of that
But there
nonsense
is
at
now
all.
another mainline Mad Max. Like it was announced, I think 2 or 3 days ago that there is another actual Mad Max film.
We'll
in the
see,
works.
right? We'll see. Because I don't believe his
Yeah.
story at all. Look, I know I know he Hollywood ignored him for X amount of years, a long time, and he was desperate for money. This is anyway.
Well, my thing is, like, maybe when they initially came up with the plan to do the Furiosa spinoff, and I remember hearing about that as well, Vex, or reading about it.
Mhm.
And it was supposed to originally have Charlize Theron in it, and it sounded like a decent idea. I actually liked Mad Max Fury Road. I
did
didn't
too.
like the fact
Okay.
that Mad Max doesn't really talk in it, because I'm like, well, that's not cool. But I liked like the pure grittiness of it. It was very enjoyable for
And
me.
why do you think they got
But-
the money in the first place to make that Mad Max film?
I don't know.
Because for years he was trying to get money from America and Australia, and they wouldn't give him a penny. It's only when they introduced this character within this universe that's when they gave him money.
I mean, I don't doubt it, but I think that if they had made this when they originally talked about it, or when it was originally in the thought process, it might have been halfway decent. But I think the times we're living in, we have the right to have that thought, oh, great, it's another female-led
Right.
thing that originated as a male story, and now it's going to convert
a
the male
female
story
thing,
to a female story.
Yeah.
So I don't think Ian's wrong in thinking that. If he's wrong, he's wrong. But I don't think he's wrong for thinking that or seeing it that way, because I do as well. I'm like, I'm all about female equality, but as a female, I don't think we have to be superior to men, and it has just become such a thing in the last few years. I don't think that we need that. So I'm hoping that that's not what this is, but I have no faith in them doing the right thing and actually making decent entertainment in lieu of, preaching, identity politics. I just don't have any faith in entertainment right now.
Movie? Any thoughts?
I liked Fury Road. I didn't mind the character of Furiosa. I don't know. I heard half of what Ian was saying. I disagreed with most of it.
Rude.
Rude.
I don't. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on. You're the.
Oh, my bigger concern with this entire trailer was how much CGI was in it, as opposed to all the great practical we had in Fury Road. And again, I get that's probably because they were filming during COVID, so there was a lot of restriction into where they could film and how long they could film, so they had to supplement it. But it doesn't feel like a Mad Max film if we're just comparing to Fury Road. It feels like just like another CGI exploitive.
Okay, but you can't use COVID as an excuse because of the fact that Mad Max Fury Road came out in 2015. So that wasn't a big thing like right after then.
Oh, no. I mean, for Furiosa, I mean, like to have that much CGI because they were filming when lockdowns were happening.
Yeah.
So because that would have interrupted the filming schedule.
I gotcha.
That's
I'm
probably
sorry, I
why
misunderstood that.
Oh, you're good.
Make no mistake, though. Make no mistake. They're making this film for reasons, and you know what the reasons are. Seriously, there's no way they're not making this film for reasons. Put it that way.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
If they had started making it before all this, bullshit had happened, I think that I would have had a lot more faith. Like I said, when they originally announced it, if they actually made it a thing, then I think I would be excited about it because, I like Movie Cynic. I liked the character Furiosa. I didn't find her overwhelming or overpowering on the whole Mad Max thing. So I wouldn't have minded it. But nowadays, I don't know. I'm not excited.
Lord, anything to add before we move on?
No.
The Lord has spoken, everybody. The Lord has spoken.
There we go.
This popped up. I thought, do I put it in or not?
I Am Legend.
That's what he said.
Yeah, indeed. Will Smith confirms he will star in I Am Legend 2 with Michael B. Jordan.
Oh God, I don't like.
I have a call with Michael B. Jordan tomorrow. The script just came in. We're going with the DVD version where my character lives.
Which is a shit ending, by the way. I like that he died at the original ending.
Yeah, but how? Because it was on the DVD version, so all the audience knew that he died. So, huh? Do you know what I mean? It's like, huh?
I'm more concerned. Is Michael B. Jordan the only black actor in Hollywood now? Because this dude seems to be just getting scooped up for everything. Is there no fresh black talent around?
No, I don't know. All I know is you have to keep his wife's name out of, what is it?
Out of his mouth.
Oh, here you go.
Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
I am legendarily cooked.
I actually liked the first I Am Legend film. I didn't mind it, but to be it would make more sense to make maybe a different story in this world because there's a lot of things that Will Smith's like mainline story didn't touch on that would be interesting to explore. But to continue the story just seems lazy. Like it's convenient to just keep it going.
Cynic, do you think it's Smith trying to stay relevant because
he's been pushing for an I Am Legend sequel for a while.
Oh, has he?
For quite some time. I'm sure he's probably pushing more because it was a nice project. So, let's get some goodwill. But like,
goodwill.
And then Michael be fucking his wife later on.
Somebody said that in the chat too.
Here you go. Mulak Yekram. Anyone read the book it's based on?
I
No,
saw
but
the
I heard
film
it
it
was
was
really
based on.
good.
Was it the Omega Man?
The Omega
early-
Man,
Yes, the
yeah.
Omega
yeah,
Man
the
is what it's
Charlton
based on.
Heston.
Charlton
Yeah.
Heston one.
That's going
Charlton
back.
Heston one was great. Yeah. Anthony Zeeb was in it as well, wasn't he? Played the main.
Oh yeah,
main
Christ, yeah,
character,
yeah. That's going back.
I don't like
Okay.
Michael B. Jordan. I just don't like his face
You
for
know,
some reason.
he was
don't like
okay.
your
Like,
I don't like his
wow.
face,
Welcome
man.
to face shaming on
He
Mr.
used to
Brown
be
Lights.
like, okay, so as a woman, I could say he used to be really hot when he first like came onto the scene, at least in my opinion. Yeah, he was hot. And
Got no chin.
but like, you know, he actually had a decent like he was a decent actor or like a rookie actor or whatever, you know. And then he just got up his own ass and now he just phones it in my opinion. I
He's
could
going to
be
be a busy
wrong.
boy. He's doing Creed as well next.
Well, that's what made him pretty much, you know. That's what made
Well,
him
I
famous.
wonder what that one's about then. Creed is about him losing the
Well, it's not
fight
about
and then he
Rocky.
wins at the ending. Yeah, it's not about Rocky. It's just ripping off Rocky. That's all it is doing. But anyway, whatever.
It's like the Rennie's dropping all the Doctor Who dialogue in. Oh, he's really hot. Yeah, no, he's really, really hot. Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
Very good. We've got super chat, folks. Here you go. Common people for £10.
Is that real money?
Allegedly, yes. Question for Cynic. That's you, Blue Man. I want to watch 90s-Zeros WWE, basically The Rock's career. Any ideas? I won't be subscribing to anything rather than looking for media on the high seas.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
To watch The Rock's career, the easiest way would be to watch Stone Cold's career because they kind of started in WWE. at the
Yeah,
same
they
time.
coincided.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I would start with the June 1996 King of the Ring. Watch that, and then watch every episode of Raw from there. And you can sail the high seas and find all that shit, but you are talking about an unbelievable abundance of content. So have fun doing that.
Yeah, it goes all the way up to
but that
Fast
was a
and
good
Furious
era.
10.
Oh my god.
I think I came in with WWF probably.
Is that the one where the pandas fight the tigers?
Yeah, that was before
Yeah.
WWE took the piss. 97, perhaps. And I just
used to
watched it
watch-
religiously for 4 years. Fucking loved it.
I mean, I used to watch WWF. I used to watch WCW before WWF bought it and turned into WWE. I mean, I loved Hulk Hogan, still my favorite wrestler to date. But, you know, it just got a little bit too convoluted after a while. Once WCW bought out, or WWF bought out WCW and they merged and made WWE. Once that hit, I didn't find it as entertaining. So I just couldn't get into it. But it was quite entertaining.
Used to be,
It's actually
used to
like
be
right
big
now,
over
it's
here,
super
didn't
fucking
it?
cool.
But it used to be
Really?
big in the UK. I think it was because of Sky. Did Sky bring it?
Yeah,
over
yeah,
here?
yeah. I think I kind of got it at the peak time. It kind of lost it after they lost the naming case.
Because I remember my nephews used to go on the sofa and jump from the sofa, their elbows in the air.
Yeah, I worked.
Did they pile drive you?
I worked nights at the time, so I could watch the specials on a Sunday night live during the night. Fantastic.
I never watched it, but we always
loved
played
them.
it at school. But
Yeah,
because
just
I had a growth spurt, there's me and one
Really,
other guy had a growth spurt earliest, and so we were the only two who were big and strong enough to like choke slam people on concrete playground. It was really good fun. Really, really dangerous, but really good fun.
My favorite character at the time was Steve Blackman. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, Steve Blackman's awesome.
What about
Fucking-
British
he-
I like
Bulldog?
him. Yeah, the British Bulldog.
Oh, he was pretty cool. Isn't he Bret Hart's cousin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who was that British geezer called? William.
William Regal.
Yeah, he was good.
You should don't watch our wrestling. You would laugh at it.
Yeah,
It's
anyway.
so bad.
Well, right now they have Drew McIntyre on the current roster, and he's Scottish. He's got like the kilt and the fucking sword, the whole nine.
Oh no.
Well, like the Doctor Who, like shoot it. Anyway, let's move on. Okay. Happy times, folks.
Oh no! Are they bringing this out?
This one's
Oh dear.
come up again. David Love says scrapping Batgirl took courage. What content is going to help us win? The content that wasn't. We made a strategic decision on. It was difficult and it was painful, very painful. But I think it was the right decision for the company and it was necessary. Fuck yeah.
How many new ways can you find of saying that Batgirl was going to be shit? That's
Yeah.
basically what we're getting there.
No, I agree totally. I
Stream killer.
don't understand. I think this is just him trying to save his ass. Oh man, it was really hard. You knew it was shit, which is why you cut the cord. I don't know what else you could say about it. Seriously.
We've said many times recently, especially. We think this has come full circle. If they was to put this out, it'd make money.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Well, no, maybe it would be a Morbius situation.
Yeah.
That was memed into oblivion, and then they like.
But
they
it was
were
memed back into the
convinced-
cinemas before it was memed.
No,
Twice.
because they were
Twice.
so stupid. They thought that people actually wanted to go ironically see this movie again, and then it like bombed a second time.
Oh, that was special.
Yeah.
Critical Drinker would. I was going to say Critical Drinker would plug this. I think we'd all plug this. I think we'd all want to go see this. Just as we know it's bad.
Do you know what? Right,
We know it's
somebody has
bad.
got that film. Someone has got it, and I'm telling you now, in the next 10 years, it will be in Comic Con somewhere.
Or
Somebody
it'll just
selling
be
it.
like a
When they need
bootleg
money.
release or something.
Bootleg release, yeah.
Absolutely. It would be really useful for scholars and historians because, this is the company that thought The Flash was worth putting in the cinema.
Absolutely.
So how bad does the film have to be for them to scrap it?
Yeah.
That will be really, really instructive. I want to know how low their standards are.
Well, I think mine must be low because I said it'd make $1 billion.
Still eating crow about the Flash, huh, Brown?
I am. Never mind. Shit happens, I suppose. Shall we move on?
Do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
What? Go on. Thanks.
Okay. Carly Spiney says Fede Alvarez's Alien or Romulus film is set between Alien and Aliens.
How? How?
What are
Why?
you gonna, that's what I
Why?
want to know. Like, what are you going to
Why?
do with it? Have a different set of actors and it's a ship that meets the aliens in between
Oh,
the other
you know
crew?
what?
I mean, I don't know what else you could
Maybe.
do.
This is Ridley Scott's original ending where
Oh, no.
Ripley and the alien bone. Maybe that's what is.
Oh, gross.
But
There
you
you
know
go.
what?
So
Why don't they
nasty.
do what's so obvious? Get the alien down to Earth. Why don't they do that? It's so
'Cause they're
obvious. That's
light
the next
years away
step.
from Earth.
Because
that's
you
why.
wish it.
It's
Also,
the
they
next
did that.
step.
That was
No, they
Alien
didn't.
versus Predator 2.
No, well, that wasn't real. That was Aliens versus Predator. Talking about Aliens.
I loved Alien versus
It's
Predator,
fun.
the
It's
first
fun.
one.
That. It's fun.
Yeah, but as I said, right, that obviously is another universe. I'm talking about this universe where the alien and Ripley and stuff like that. The next step is to put these things on Earth and it invades Earth. That's the next step. But why aren't they doing that?
Gosh,
I
I
have
wish
no
it.
idea. This is a stupid idea in between. What is that all about?
Yeah, that's what. So is this going to be because they're not bringing Ripley back? So
No.
does this mean that it's going to be a side story that just
That's
happens
what I'm
to take
thinking.
place?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like, have you guys seen that stupid Jason Bourne movie that with Jeremy Renner instead of Matt
Yeah, it's
Damon?
terrible.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it's going to be like that. That was a terrible sidestep, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So that's
it
probably what this is. That's
you
the
go.
only thing I can
Yeah,
think of.
I think there was a few. I think we covered this before, where we showed pictures of who's in this movie. Yeah, and Amelia Bedelia. Yeah, Gen Z versus aliens.
Good
yeah.
luck,
Oh,
snowflakes.
that is actually what's going to happen with the Alien TV show that's in
Oh,
production.
is right. Okay, I stand
It's
corrected
separate,
then.
yeah. So this is a
Yeah.
film that will be out next or this coming August now, and then the TV series. I think they're still filming. I'm not sure, but yeah, there's two separate Alien projects happening right now.
Stupid idea.
Yeah.
I love Alien. I know there's been some shit entries, but I'll still go see this in theater.
Yeah,
So-
like Covenant, Prometheus, Alien 3, Alien 4,
Jesus.
AVP, AVP 2. It's kind of like Star Wars, and it's a really good franchise, and most of the films are shit.
And they wrecked it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wrecked
I
it.
thought AVP was pretty good.
It
I
was
didn't
fun,
like
it was
AVP
fun.
2.
Yeah, the first one
AVP was
alright.
fun for what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun for
Yeah.
what it was.
You know what? They can't. This film is going to be like Aliens, obviously, where
With
it
pronouns.
can't be like the original Alien, where it's around the corner jump scares and stuff like that, can it? You know what I mean? They're not going to go backwards. They're going to try and imitate James Cameron's version, aren't they, with this?
So
So it's just
Fede
gonna be the same
Good luck with
Alvarez.
that. Good luck with
Yeah.
that.
Fede Alvarez is a horror writer and director, though. So, like
Oh.
I guess the biggest thing he's put out was that Evil Dead remake that came out a couple years ago, and then he most recently did a remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, I think just because of
Was
who's
they
in
any good?
charge, Evil Dead was okay. I didn't
Okay.
see the last Texas Chainsaw though. He
Uh,
did Don't Breathe as well, which I didn't mind. I didn't think it was terrible.
Mm.
But he's definitely more into like tension building and atmospheric horror. So
okay.
this is definitely going to lean away from James
Good.
Cameron's
I hope
action.
so. I hope so. Because we haven't had a real Alien film in ages, have we?
No.
Mhm.
No,
Um,
but they're going to start running into continuity problems when they're now setting things between Alien and Aliens. I mean, I would
Yes.
assume, I don't know, I could be wrong about this. I'm going to
Yeah.
assume that this is a continuation of the story from Prometheus Covenant, so the one effectively David's arc. And Covenant is left off when, he's taken over the colony ship and he's put the alien eggs aboard it. So
Was that before Alien? That was before Alien too, wasn't it?
both of those were prequels, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
confused.
they'll run into continuity problems if it's set between Alien and Aliens, and somehow nobody in universe
Jeez.
decided it might be worth tracking down what happened to this missing colony ship. But I'm trying to sort of read into it as well, because they've been going for these mythological names, and obviously you have Prometheus, which is it's kind of a Prometheus story in the sense that it's giving new life to a guy. It's like stealing fire from the gods is David's story essentially. And so Romulus, that's Romulus and Remus. So that will be the foundation of something new in which one member of it is murdered. So my absolute wild guess for this is that it does continue David's story, and it's the colony ship goes down and Romulus murders Remus, and that Romulus is David in this analogy would be a guess.
It's a Star Trek
Or
crossover.
it might be the people that was on that colony before the aliens
Yeah, that's what I was
killed them
thinking too.
for before James Cameron one started. It might be that.
Oh.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I was
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So it might be that. That might be interesting.
But then where's the mythological name tie-in for doing that?
Well, it
Don't
just sounds
know.
good.
The
It-
colony or
no,
something,
sounds
I don't know.
good.
Which means that if they do that, that means that Newt is in it and her brother. So that'll be interesting. Stream
Oh,
killer.
that actually would be.
Got that one
No,
in.
that actually,
All
I had a light bulb moment. I was like, yeah, that actually would be
Yeah,
a pretty
that's
interesting
right. I had
story.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be
It's a
good.
shame these fuckers don't know. You go, James Caserta. I was the only one in the theatre at Prometheus and walked out. Should have asked for a refund. You should
It
have
was
done
such a disappointing film because it looks beautiful and the soundtrack is really
know,
good.
just
And vaguely in there
dog
is an idea, but the film itself is yeah.
He was
Dog
making
shit.
it up as he went along. Ridley Scott was making it up as he went along. The script wasn't finalized, but they had to shoot it apparently. But that's no excuse. It was a shit movie. It really was.
Yeah, and it's like
Looks
basic
incredible.
stuff. This team of highly trained scientists who've been handpicked to go on a mission, and none of them have an IQ above 2 digits. It's just none of these people should be on this mission. Why are they here? It's unbelievable that this alien xenobiologist person comes across a weird alien snake and treats it as a pet, and then of course he fucking dies. It's like, what am I supposed to be invested in if all your characters are jokes?
Decontamination protocol. What's that?
Yeah.
Should we move on?
Do it.
Move along.
Move along.
Oh
Okay,
my God!
I don't know if this is UK. Die Hard will return
It is.
theaters. Is it?
No, it's America. But it will be released. I know it's being released at Christmas time, and I'm definitely my arse is on that seat. I'm definitely going to be there. Definitely.
Please, nobody tell my husband about this. He'll want to go and see this
I
in the
Don't
movie
worry, I've
theaters.
already
will.
told him.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You know what? They had this festival, action festival, and me and Keith went to it, and we were so excited because they were showing Die Hard, and I'm going to be talking to some of the stars from Die Hard and the director. We got there, and guess what? They played it off a bloody Blu-ray. I was so
What?
Oh, that's
off.
shitty.
I was so fucked off. Now this is in the cinema. I want to see how you want to see it truly the way it's supposed to be
Here you
seen.
go. Yeah, UK, 22nd.
Love it. I'm going. I'm there.
Love
Yeah,
it.
I'd like to see. I wasn't alive when Die Hard 1 came out, so I'd like
Well,
to
that's no
see it
excuse.
in theater.
But seriously though, great. The sound effects in the when I saw it in the cinema, the sound effects in Die Hard is fucking awesome. Really,
Yeah, I will give
really
it that.
awesome. Yeah.
It's a great action movie. I just disagree with it being considered a Christmas movie. That's all.
Here we
They're
go.
releasing it in cinemas at Christmas. It is by definition a Christmas
Oh,
movie.
go to hell, Ben.
Cynic,
Just
you a
kidding.
fan of Die Hard?
I do like the original Die Hard, and with a vengeance.
Yes,
The
Die
third one.
Yeah.
The third one. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 and 3. That's about it. But I've never been honestly, probably like With a Vengeance more than the original, and I think that's blasphemous to most people.
No, it's all right. A lot of people like the third one more than the first one, but I think the first one is the first one's like a machine. It just keeps going and
Yeah, it's
going and
really
good.
going. It's really good. And some of the stuff in it's like when I first saw it, I was edge of my seat. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff
Yeah.
that was in it. The performances as well was freaking off the charts, especially from what's his name, the main villain,
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman was
Oh, yeah, Alan
absolutely
Rickman.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was such
Hans
a great
Gruber.
actor.
Yeah.
Such a great
Mr.
actor.
Nakatomi will not be joining us for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the party, pal. Yeah.
You know when he's
Great
in
line.
the is it the computer center and they shoot all the glass out?
Yeah.
The scene where Bruce Willis blows away one of the terrorists, you know, where you just see
Yeah.
the kneecaps
Yeah.
exploding.
Mhm.
Fucking hell, it gets me every time that does.
But it
So
was
good.
it was funny because they went to every action hero going at that time and they all turned it down. You know why they turned it down? Because they said the hero was too vulnerable. It was the first time you saw an action hero that was vulnerable in an action film. Because if you look at all the films surrounding that time, they were all superhuman, weren't they? All of them.
Yeah.
But that's what
for
makes
the
it
most
work.
part.
You know, when you see
Yeah.
him having to run barefoot across shattered glass, which the film makes a point of showing you is been shattered for that reason.
Brilliant.
That you want to see that the guy is fundamentally human because that makes you invest in what he's doing. You know he's suffering and is in pain and is vulnerable and might actually die. It's a normal man in extraordinary circumstances, not Arnold Schwarzenegger blowing another massive, hole in a wall.
But you know, when they played the trailer, right, the whole crowd started laughing because he was known for moonlighting at the time, and the whole crowd started laughing. They didn't take it seriously. And 20th Century Fox thought it was going to be a dud, but little did they know, it wasn't.
Yes,
you go,
this
side
was the
effect.
film that.
Is there a better villain?
Well, he started off the
No.
British villain thing, didn't he?
Yeah.
Alan Rickman. So,
Oh,
yeah.
no. British villains have been a thing.
Oh,
way
well,
back- I mean,
yeah.
you had like
Yeah.
Peter Cushing in
Yeah.
Star Wars. British villains have been villains in America for a long time because, we have class and sophistication, like all villains do.
Stop it.
If
Have
they
you
was-
talked to Brown? I'm just saying.
Yes, there's always exceptions to the rule. We've all got
Yeah,
our
there you
crosses
go.
to bear.
That's what there
blah,
aren't
blah,
any
blah.
northern British villains that I can think of now you mention it. But
Not yet. Ha ha ha.
It's
If they
coming.
was,
Hmm.
if they were to remake this
No, don't.
and
No.
put a chick in it, who would the chick be?
They already done it.
Probably
They-
that Snow White bitch.
No,
What's
they've
her
already
name?
done it. They did it. Netflix did a version, didn't they? And it wasn't a high rise. It was a oil rig. It was an
What
oil
the
rig.
fuck?
Yeah, I'm
Was
telling
it?
you. On Netflix, if you look it up, there's this Die Hard kind of film. It's set in an oil rig, and that one woman stands against all these terrorists. It's a
Oh,
Wait,
was
is
it,
it a Die Hard film or a Die Hard
no,
like
it's
film?
not. It's not.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
saw
not a Die
that
Hard
one.
film. It's a Die Hard
Greta
kind of
Thunberg,
movie.
wasn't it?
Okay.
Starring.
Yeah.
Oh
It was
my.
Greta.
I'm here all week.
Yeah, no, but seriously, there is. I can't remember what it's called, but I didn't watch it. I just saw the trailer. I was like, "This is Die Hard with a woman." So they have done it.
With a woman.
Yeah,
They'll put Anna de Anus in it.
I love her. Sorry, I love her. No word said about her.
Oh,
She's
I
lovely.
like the suggestion of Melissa McCarthy. I mean, you might as well, have fat and female representation.
Oh God, she's in a new film coming out soon, isn't she? A Christmas movie where she
I
plays a
think
genie.
so.
Yeah.
Is it just
Um,
me, or does she play the same person in almost everything, and she thinks she's like
Yep.
the funniest person on earth?
Yep.
Yeah.
If Lizzo could play, is it Al in Die Hard?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Lizzo could play that character in the new
Mm.
version.
And her weapon of choice can be a bunch of bananas.
This is a great. I think.
Oh.
God damn it! I think this is a great movie.
They'd be
Oh,
wet too, is the
Um,
worst part. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Mushy bunch of bananas.
Oh.
Moving on.
Oh, what's this?
Oh God, did anybody see this? I don't know if
Yes.
I had to laugh or cry at this. Margot Robbie calls her and Greta Gerwig
Oh
the
my.
next Scorsese and De Niro duo.
Ah.
What I mean is, this is Greta, has to work with me for at least another 4 times.
How can you even compare yourselves to a couple of like a great actor and a great director? Now, Robert De Niro might be a very interesting person politically and a little bit too outspoken, but he's an amazing actor, and Scorsese is an amazing director. I mean, Margot Robbie's okay. She's a cutie and she's a decent actress, but she's not up there with an A-lister, and neither is this Greta chick. So, I mean,
No, my
how can
guess
you
is,
even?
and it's a good faith guess, but my good faith guess is that she was being sort of self-deprecating. It's humorous self-deprecation. Like she's
Yeah.
not saying that they're on a level in terms of talent. She's saying
Oh.
they are going to have to be stuck with each other now because they made one really successful film, and so of course they can't work with anybody else. Would be a guess. I've not seen the
Okay.
actual source.
I guess that would
I'm
be fair.
just I'm really shocked that they couldn't find a female equivalent to compare them. You know, it seems a little self-misogynistic to compare yourself to
Yeah.
two
that-
old white men.
Well, there's that too. They didn't think of that, did they?
What, Cynic, what do you think?
I don't
Okay, moving on.
Yes, whatever.
I know, it's just... Okay, but if she's made a $1 billion movie, I suppose,
Boo! Sorry.
yes.
Don't
Only
you do
because
it.
of the marketing, she made a $1 billion movie. Let's not forget.
Yeah, the marketing did that, yeah. Greatest marketing in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They were the real stars of that movie. Okay, shall we move on?
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
What's this?
Many slides this week about this gentleman, but I thought I'd put this one in. Zack Snyder says he is dismayed to see Amber Heard suffer abuse on social media. I just don't get it.
Well, if you shit in someone's bed, of course you're going to
Yeah.
get abused.
I'll just leave it at that then,
Or
yeah.
if you gaslight somebody else and make them look like they're the abuser when it was actually you, you are a real piece of human shit.
Yeah, it just goes to show
What
Zack
she did to-
Snyder people.
Yeah, what she
Dude,
did
why
to
is
Johnny
he
Depp
acting
was
so oblivious?
inexcusable.
Exactly. It's a lot of rubbish, isn't it?
Fucking
The-
psycho bitch.
The more that Zack Snyder opens his mouth, the more I understand why his daughter offed herself.
Holy cow, that was
That
rough.
is.
I don't understand
Oh.
this kind of narcissism and willing obliviousness. Like there's documentaries made on the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case where it's very like you can watch any 5-second clip and it's pretty obvious why nobody wants to work with her. Like
I will say that none of us know the true reasons why his daughter.
she was
committed
probably
suicide.
fucking him at some point as well.
Well,
I
dude,
mm,
suicide's
Careful.
a real touchy issue, and people, you don't know what they suffer, but it's really sad to see the numbers, especially since the big C word started a couple of years ago. I'm trying not to say it, Brown, but
Yeah.
there were a lot of people that took what happened to our country and other countries pretty hard, and it's really hard, especially when somebody's going to off themselves. They don't talk and they don't tell anyone about it. They just do it, and it's sad because you never know that they were going through something really horrible until it's too late.
I'd like to
Tim-
point out it's a joke. I'm not being serious.
Oh,
Yeah.
Vex.
Okay,
Uh,
like come on.
To
Like
defend you,
I've
Vex, even though I said "oh," my favorite stand-up comedian once said, he's like, "I don't care if you guys laugh or say "oh," because O's are the same as laughs, except pussies do it." So it's a good joke, dude.
I'm not saying that it's a light issue. I'm just making a joke as someone.
Yeah,
that is big.
I'm on board with it. The whole it's
Strike
the South
him
Park
back.
mode, like
Strike
either
him back.
everything is fair game or nothing is. That's fair enough. But when Amber Heard
Okay.
is on the screen, I think we've got a good female target for jokes, and we should probably
Yeah.
keep that to her.
Respect
No,
his
I
daughter
can't. I agree with
above
that.
that piece of
Track him back.
poo-poo.
Track him
Yeah.
back.
Rewinding it back. Blah, 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 beep, beep.
That's right.
Okay, so shall we just move on?
Move
Yeah.
on. Move
I think I
on.
chose the wrong story there, folks. Sorry.
Is Zack Snyder sleeping with her? Is that a thing that
I-
hasn't come out yet?
I
Wait,
mean,
mean, she
he's
slept with everybody
awfully-
else.
God, is he
Yeah,
Does
he's
Deborah
awfully
know
on the
this?
defense.
Mhm.
Or does he want
Um,
to? Maybe.
Here you go.
Wow.
Rust in peace. Jokes are meant to be cutting.
Move along.
Tumbleweed.
What about Zack Snyder is playing so oblivious to the obviousness. He just wants to smash. It's fine.
Is this just to drudge up some fanfare though, because he's got a movie coming out soon, and he's got that
Yeah.
booth at Los Angeles Comic Con right now where
Yeah,
you can
there's some of
have
that-
Zack
yeah.
Snyder. Oh, okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, there was a new
Schneider.
poster of Rebel Moon, all that bollocks. Yeah. Out today.
Move along.
Okay. Let's move on. I think the other story was if he was invited back to do some more Batman.
No.
You know,
Okay.
maybe in the past, I would have said possibly, but now I think I just think that he's gotten to the point where it's like, oh, everybody wants me back. I should come back.
Well,
No.
Nolan's been sucking his dick quite a bit lately. in interviews. But Nolan's just like,
Ugh.
Watchmen was ahead of its time. Like, guys, he's
Watchmen
amazing.
was a
like,
great adaptation, but yeah,
Um,
it doesn't mean everything he does is going to be great.
right.
Here you go. This is kind of connected to one of my famous predictions as well. Jim D. Rebel Moon, terrible. You're welcome.
Has he seen it? Has he seen it? Is it out?
I think he's just
No, I think he's
Oh,
just kind
funny.
of. I think
Later this month that comes out, isn't it? I think.
Yeah,
yeah, 22nd. Yeah.
I
Okay.
said it'd be stupid if it was really, really good. In one of these kind of off my tits predictions.
Go on. How much do you think it's going to make, Brown?
I think it's probably going to make $999 million.
Boom.
$999 billion.
How about
I think it's getting-
999?
It's
Period.
probably going to make about $25 at the cinema. I think there is a limited release.
Well, because it's mostly a Netflix thing, isn't it, Rebel Moon?
It is,
So-
but there is a very limited release so they can
Oscars.
get it in some awards or some awards
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. That's exactly why they're doing it.
Okay, got a couple of super chats. Wayland Persephus for $2. Melissa McCarthy has a loud bowling ball.
Isn't that kind of what she is right now?
Brown ball.
Nameless No Name for £2. Allegedly real money. For your information, BBC Archives posted Bill Hicks on Pebble
Pebble Mill.
Mill. That was
No,
a daytime chat show in the UK back
Yeah.
in the day.
it was famous. Mm.
Thank you, my friend. Oops, sorry. Get rid of that. Shall we?
Waylon now has to pay again because you put his super chat up twice. So
That's right.
Oh,
He's in
okay.
deficit.
Right, this is going to be like this for the next 10 hours then. Here you go. So, that's one.
although there was, I
two.
think, was an open bar on Thursday when some
Get
guy
your
sent in
checkbook
a
out, man.
joke and the drinker missed the joke, and so the guy had to pay again to clarify the joke.
How much did he pay though?
50 quid each time.
What?
Oh, I saw that. I
Why did
saw
he just
that,
pay
yeah.
$1.99 or something like that? What's wrong with him? What an
That's
idiot.
so
Poor
funny.
bastard.
What an idiot. Oh, hello. What was that?
I will say,
Sorry, my bad.
was it a good joke though, Lord? Or was the joke on this guy who paid?
It was
100 quid?
all right. It was all right. The fact that he paid again was funnier than the joke. But
Oh,
Well, yeah, 50 quid at a time. Heck yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of thinking this was the big story this week, wasn't it?
Elon Musk
Yeah.
dressing down.
New X users are cancelling. This is a tweet after Elon said X users are cancelling their Disney Plus subscriptions after Elon Musk told Disney CEO Bob Iger to go himself for blackmailing X. Says here, good. Stop giving money to people who hate you and hate free speech. And then it just says X users are fighting back. So, thoughts on this interview? Cynic, did you see the interview?
Yeah. I probably rewatched that clip like a dozen times.
Yeah, I've watched it a few times. Really good.
Yeah.
Has
I
it
don't
got a
know,
point?
Elon. I think Elon thinks of himself, and rightfully so. I mean, he's so rich that he's kind of like taking one for the team for all of us if X goes down. You know what I mean? Like he bought this platform for free speech, and if it goes down, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it, man. It's
a tricky one, isn't it?
It was
because
savage.
I don't want X to go down, but I'm also so glad that he's sticking to his guns the way he is.
There was a moment in the 80s. I think it was a company called Ratner's in the UK. This the guy who owned Ratner's, I think it was a jewelry company in the UK, said all our jewelry is shite. It's cheap, and we just he basically just self-destroyed his company. The company went out of business relatively quickly.
What an idiot.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but
I'm kind of thinking this might be a similar, but I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
you
This is
know-
a populist appeal in the way that Elon isn't admitting anything in particular about X. He's very specifically saying that other people outside of it are effectively forming a cartel to attempt to take it down via concerted pressure via advertisers. The fascinating, I've talked about this extensively on Open Bar, but to repeat a couple of the points, one of the fascinating things about it is that this is the New York Times' Deal Book Summit. This is the place where all of the biggest executives go, entrepreneurs go. This isn't a crowd pleasing event. This is a place where the people in the audience are the people that he is talking about. So he is effectively saying to their faces, probably for the first time in a lot of their experiences, no, go fuck yourself, because I'm standing for something, and a lot of people value that, which is the ability and the right to speak freely online as well as offline. And it's nice that somebody is in a position to say that. Nevertheless, he did admit that the advertisers' boycott, if it carried on, would take the company down. But it's best, I think, then understood as a form of, in a way, kind of counter propaganda. Elon Musk is trying to make it very clear to people outside of the room as well as inside of the room that this is what will be responsible for X going the way of the dodo if the advertising boycott is successful. So he was being honest after the fact. And I like that he's telling executives to their face to go fuck themselves, because they have formed a cartel. It's not capitalism. It's not free markets. This is mercantilism, and this is established players trying to use their clout in concert with each other to deny effectively customers the right to use a service that they value, to make that impossible because they don't agree with the public's social values and mores. And the fact that Elon Musk has enough money to be able to say to Bob Iger, go fuck yourself, is good.
Yeah. Well, and you guys know, once he took over the company, he started that whole checkmark verification, and there's subscription services available and all that. He's getting a pretty big cut from the subscriptions, and he's getting a good cut from the blue checkmark, or the total cut. So a lot of people have paid for that. He knows how to make money. He doesn't necessarily need ads to get all of his money.
Yeah, and there's a counterbalance as well, which is, if you look at modern political campaigns, for example, which have traditionally been funded by massive big business, the last few very, very successful, particularly successful insurgent candidates, including the likes of Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders, Jeremy Corbyn, actually made the majority of their campaign contributions off of small dollar donations. And I wouldn't be entirely surprised to see X trying to shift away from a few massive players and encouraging many, many more small businesses, now that the price of advertising will be cheaper anyway, to start bankrolling the company with smaller donations. A higher number of smaller donors can actually overcompensate, in fact, the money you lose from big donors.
Totally agree.
Ian, thoughts?
Well, I really don't have much thoughts, really. I mean, he told them to go and F themselves, which is good. And I do, you know what, right? A lot of people like to rail on him. I think I really like Elon. I think he's, obviously he's is he one of the richest men in the world?
He's usually tying with Jeff Bezos. It's between him and Bezos who rival for number one.
Yeah. So basically, I think, he has all the power. He can tell them to screw themselves, can't he? I actually think that his heart is in the right place. The stuff that he's doing, the stuff that he's doing maybe is not so good, but at least he's trying to set things straight. That's what I think.
Yeah, really his head is often swamped in a cloud of cannabis, but his heart probably is in the right place.
Yeah, more or less. But
Vex, any thoughts?
I went to get a snack, so no.
Oh, you're trying to compete with Ian on who can crunch the loudest.
Oh.
I'm getting a post-workout munchies. That's all.
She went to get a banana. That's where she went.
The banana speech really inspired snackies.
Banana.
Banana.
Make sure to put some honey on it too, so it's nice and moist.
Honey flavored lube. Interesting.
Shall we move on? I think it's connected.
Just one more
do a
very
sidestep.
quick thing. I know it's going to be a sidestep. Just one more quick thing, because a lot of people, when you do talk about this issue in particular, you will reliably see people in comment sections underneath saying, "Oh, Elon Musk is scum. He's bad. He does X, Y, Z." That's absolutely fine. You can have that point of view, and Elon Musk does a lot of questionable things, but it's a mistake to hold Elon's personal character and some of his contradictions against the principle he's standing for in this instance. It wouldn't matter to me particularly if I thought he was the worst human being in the world. If he's still telling Disney to go fuck themselves for trying to strangle free speech, I would support him in this one particular issue. That still leaves me open to criticize many of his other decisions, as many people should.
Okay. Do you think
I agree completely with that?
Do you think this was a drawing of the line, as it were?
Yeah, I think so.
Musk has been speaking out a lot against the typical narrative these last couple of years. This isn't the first time. This is the first time that he's gotten so belligerent about it, but he hasn't been quiet.
No, he hasn't.
Folks in the chat. Vex Electronica. I made some curried tofu yesterday. Eating those.
That's me. Thank you.
Is it tasty? Sounds tasty.
Oh, it's very good. I went full vegetarian a couple of weeks ago. So.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of stress, and it's not boding well for my digestive issues. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to cut meat out because that's really intensive for your body to digest. And
that is more offensive than any joke you could ever make. How dare you be a fucking vegetarian?
I'm sorry, dude. I mean, I had fish twice. Does that help a little bit? I had some
You're
salmon.
a pescatarian then.
Yeah, pescatarian. There you go.
Still better than being a vegan, so you're all good.
Fuck off.
I made vegan pho yesterday, though, so I don't know.
I'm a dirty vegan. Anyway, let's move on.
I stand with you, Brown. It's okay.
So this is the list. There's a little bit of using two tweets. This is there may be some overlap. This is most of the companies that are not advertising. So there's a fair list.
There is, but there's also a really fun game you can play with these guys because, and I think this is one of the points he was trying to make about he's more concerned with doing good than seeming to do good. So all of these companies are putting advertisements because they can't be seen to have, even though it never happens anyway, adverts next to content they question as immoral. Well, okay, let's run down the list. Apple has to have suicide nets installed around its factories in China because so many people jump out of the windows trying to escape them that they have to actually try and catch them to put them back in the factory.
The phones
Disney
are fantastic,
preaches
though.
that the values of LGBT plus in the same month as it opens Disney Plus in Saudi Arabia. The Washington Post shills for Hamas. Paramount has destroyed more cultural properties than Elon Musk has ever had his hands on. NBC also shills for Hamas. Marvel has destroyed more cultural properties than Elon could ever have. IBM does pretty important work in the arms industry. Like, how far down this list do we really need to go before you see that these companies are not actually concerned with doing good? They are just concerned with image, and that's it. They are hypocrites in the extreme. And it's nice that somebody is finally able on a major platform to say, no, go fuck yourselves, you hypocrites.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, the Lord has spoken, everybody.
What he said. Yeah.
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 Okay, I think I've spelt that correct as well. But yeah, the Lord has spoken. Can't beat that. Anything to add, anybody? Or have we put that one to bed?
Put the one to bed. Oh no. Why?
Okay.
I was just forgetting about this movie.
But you know, Brown and Brie, he's got to have some Brie time.
Brown and Brie.
Where my Brie with some crackers.
Was it Brie and Brown?
Brie and Brown, Brown and Brie.
I'd take either. The Marvels is tracking to end its theatrical run, earning 210 million globally. The movie, this is the known budget, I'm sure it's more. The movie had a budget of 220 million plus 100 million on marketing. Fuck. Blue Man, you're good with numbers. Thoughts? A hit, yes?
Yeah, major hit. So it's the biggest financial loser since the Incredible Hulk. So in the MCU, so it's the lowest grossing.
Well, the Hulk was better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that came out 15 years ago on a much smaller budget too. So yeah, it's I was reading a Variety article earlier today, and they were acting like this was surprising. Like, usually the MCU releases major blockbusters. They're the biggest conglomerate. And I'm like, how is this surprising? In reality, people don't kind of think of the MCU as separate franchises anymore. They look at them as it's just one franchise. So if Doctor Strange sucks, and then Thor sucks, and then Ant-Man sucks, and Black Panther sucks, like once you get to the Marvels, it's a law of diminishing returns. It doesn't matter if it was a separate franchise or is in name. They are kind of sequels. They're all in the same. It's all in a vacuum here. So like, I don't know how this is. I feel like I've said that 3 times. I don't know how that some of this shit's a surprise to anybody.
Hopefully the last time. Anything to add, anybody?
It was rubbish.
Well, yeah, it was.
It's shit.
The film was shit. Yeah, that's the only thing you could say, really. Let's face it. Have you seen those pictures of them? They had pictures of 3 of them. Lord, why did they dress that little Asian girl in that? I don't know what's going on. I mean,
What? Hold on, little Asian girl?
Asian girl? What?
Who?
Yeah. Well, we say Asian over here.
Technically, Pakistan is in Asia.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Sorry, I'm just like
The continent of
Why couldn't you
Asia,
just say the little
yes.
Pakistani girl, the little brown girl?
Because that's what we say over here. Sorry, I forgot you're American and Canadians. You don't say it that way.
Welcome to Fighting Talk on Mr. Brown.
Why
Why do you have to say it like that?
Vex is offended because her profile picture is Ms. Marvel at the moment. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cynic, you went to see this. We've not had your thoughts. Did you like this movie?
Of course.
No,
he liked it.
This was one of those situations where it was exactly like everybody predicted. It was horrible, and 3 to 5 reshoots later, 5 release date pushes.
Jeez.
Of course, this was going to be terrible. And it absolutely was. It didn't disappoint in that regard. The one thing it didn't disappoint was that I expected it to be bad, and it was.
It was awful.
There you go, folks.
I made way more money off the Marvels than Disney will ever see.
So there is a silver lining, folks. Speaking of flop, so we're doing some numbers here for the Blue Man. Wish only grosses what is it, $560 in its second Thursday. The film declined 85% from its first Thursday.
Mm.
Is that good or bad?
Well, that's horrible because the Thursday is just the Thursday previews from last week, right?
Yeah.
So the screenings are from like 5 o'clock on or 2 o'clock on, and this Thursday was a full day. So it's even worse than when you put it in that kind of perspective.
And this is on a Thanksgiving weekend too, when all the families are together. Is the other thing, which is great.
Right,
This
yeah.
is usually a slam dunk weekend.
Yeah. Agreed.
Right. I know Disney. I know Christmas Day is a huge movie-going day in America. I don't know about Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving
but either,
used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember if that day was like a down day or not.
It's like one of those days. It's one of those things where it's one of the few businesses that's open that people can go to with their families. So it used to be a really big thing to go to the movies on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Really? In England, the cinemas are closed on Christmas Day. Yeah, it's closed. Everything's closed.
No, not here. It's poor people have to work
amazing.
on the holidays, man.
Not
It's
in
rough.
Canada, same thing. It's all open.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Poor
That's
bastards.
absolutely crazy.
You go, Price of Reason. Wish was awful. I've actually seen it.
Oh, okay.
Lol.
Wasn't it also supposed to be part of the whole centennial celebration as well?
It
You know,
was,
this is 100 years of Disney, and it's proof that actually you
So
can't
here you go.
celebrate crap.
So
You
you
actually
said
have
it.
to
There you
give.
go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, meant to be the 100-year
Timing.
celebration for Disney. Yeah, no, good timing. Yeah, no, but it's proof. I think that you actually have to give people a cause to celebrate. You cannot any longer, as Disney, trade on your name and your reputation and your brand because you've done so much to trash those. That's 100 years of work that you have now thrown in the bin and set fire to. Consequently, your centennial celebration film is not even making a mark. Well done, Disney.
Yeah, well done, Disney. Let's move on.
Not much though.
Effectively, it's just Bob Iger bollocks. We'll just blast through this. Bob Iger admits company's recent output featured an overload of woke content.
Really? You don't say.
Creators lost sight
No
of
way.
what their number one objective needed to be. Would that be make money?
Who hired them, Bob?
Yes, Bob. Well, he tried to blame it on somebody, on the other
JPEG,
guy.
right?
Yeah.
Am I the only one that thinks that girl's face is a bit weird?
Oh no, her eyes are way too far
Welcome
apart.
to Body Shaming on Mr. Brown
Dude, her
Lions.
eyes are so far apart. It's weird to me. I had a hard time looking at her at first myself. I was like, oh, could they at least have gotten somebody prettier to play Ariel? I mean, come on. She's supposed to be cute.
She's the black Anya Taylor-Joy. That's the equivalent.
She does. She looks weird. She's got a weird face. I think so. I've got a weird face. You know what I mean? So I know.
No,
weird
you're
is.
adorable, Ian. I've seen you in person.
So
You're right. I mean,
chemicals
Uber would
water.
charge surge pricing to get from one eye to the other. So she's got
Exactly.
Welcome to Body Shaming and the death of a channel on Mr. Brown Lions.
It's not body.
It's okay. You've got a lot of different representation here, so just play that card and you'll be fine.
Here you go, Jim D. Shovel Face.
Oh no! Oh no!
Jeez.
Oh, that's awful, but that's funny.
Here you go, common people sticking up for it. Still would, yeah.
Just the design doesn't do any, because on the red carpet she actually looks quite good. It's just whatever they've done in makeup and effects and all that stuff, it doesn't complement any of her features here, so it looks worse than it actually
It's
is.
so the ugly people don't get offended.
Do her
that's what it
eyes
is.
look less far apart in person or
Yeah,
out of
she
this
looks
movie?
so much better in
Mm,
person. So
weird.
much better. Actually a beautiful girl.
And pleased to be there in the film as well.
Mhm.
Anyway, Stream Killer, let's move on. I think it's more Bob Bollocks.
Bob Iger.
You go. Disney 100. Bob Iger and other Disney execs say their main goal now is
to make money.
Quality over quantity.
There is no way of saying that without admitting that what you've been putting out is mountains of shit.
Flannel, isn't it? Flannel.
I would love to believe this, but I'll believe it when I see it. Pixar didn't happen. I think they're saying what they think that everybody wants to hear, or what people want to hear. But until I see some sort of evidence or proof, then I'm not going to trust it.
Here you go, folks. Not Brian. About fucking time. Cider feet. No shit, Bob.
It's true. No shit, man.
Will the customers come back though?
Probably
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just don't think the people who they hire, I just don't think they've got the talent to write decent stories anymore.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or is that me?
No,
Obviously,
they need to
obviously
fire
there
the
will
writing
be some
team.
people, but good luck finding them.
Clean
Yeah.
house.
Clean house.
Yeah. Get out with the old and in with the new, man.
Stop hiring off of check marks. There you go. There, I firmly do believe there's still good writers out there. It's just Disney
Yeah.
has their own check boxes when hiring, and that's probably what's, aside from pushing all of this shit on the creatives, that's equally as throttling when you're hiring people that side with everything you put out.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
I just can't grasp. Surely Mr. Igor knows years ago that the stuff coming out is absolute fucking horse shit, and yet he still pursues. I just don't understand. Why
You
has
know
it taken
how-
this long?
But you know how there are
don't get
certain
it.
people that are so narcissistic that they cannot admit that they were wrong, or they refuse to believe that they made a bad decision. Haven't you ever worked for a boss like that? I've worked for several people like that in the past, and I'm like, dude, just admit you were wrong, make it better, and move on. And they just can't do it without having something completely, get torn to shreds or burned to the ground. That's like, oh, maybe you were right. It's like, dude, we could have saved this a long time ago if you had just admitted you were wrong and made some changes.
There you go, folks. There you go. Super chat from Wonky Man. £2, real money allegedly. They get paid making kids gay from Larry Fink now.
Wow.
Who's Larry Fink?
I know that name, but I can't think where from.
Mhm.
But that is the Disney way, though, isn't it?
I don't know where I know that name from.
Nor do I.
Send another super chat to explain.
Yeah, for £5,000.
Oh, he's the CEO of BlackRock.
Oh, you just looked him up in Google.
Yes.
Very good. See, Wonky Man for £2 outsmarted us all. So well done, my friend. Very good. Shall we move on from the shit show of Disney 100?
Yeah,
Please.
it will be
Yes,
interesting to see.
please.
Like, let's say Bob Iger gets his way, and the next Marvel film turns out to be, surprisingly good. I don't know if that would be enough to recover the franchise. I think once you've lost the magic, to use sort of the pun that Disney used to really go in for, once you've got the audience in the mind of, well, it's probably not going to be worth it, so I'm not even going to bother. I think you'd need a good sustained period of top quality content even to get half your audience back.
Ray film on the way.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Gross.
And on that bombshell, let's move on. Oh, God. I completely forgot about this. Speaking of Ray, Adam Driver on being cast as Kylo Ren in Star Wars. Was it War of Stars, Lord? I don't know. I took it really seriously. Glad somebody did. And thought about it a lot. I didn't want to be in it and be bad, because I knew a lot of people were going to watch it, and I was a fan of those movies. So he cared by the looks of it.
I can believe that. He's a pretty dedicated actor, so
I think a lot of the actors probably did care about it. It's Star Wars. You've been cast in Star Wars back when that was not a death sentence.
Yeah,
And
but why
I
didn't
suspect
they
they all
speak
liked
up
it.
before now? That's the thing. Like a few years after the fact, he's like telling everybody
Contracts.
this. It's like,
contract.
say something at the moment.
Yeah.
That would be nice, but I mean,
Non-disclosures.
most contracts have like non-disparagement clauses as well as non-disclosure clauses. And it's only after a certain period of time elapses that you're allowed to start speaking in any way honestly about it.
Yeah.
Also, there's also the question of, will I get more work from this company? And do I want more work from this company? And if it's got to the point where he thinks he won't get any more, or he knows he won't get any more, or he doesn't want any more, then he's going to be more likely to maybe badmouth the thing.
There might have been another project with him involved, but it got scrapped. So now that he's no longer obligated, he can speak out maybe.
Not Brian. He kissed Daisy Ridley, so it's not all fun being an actor.
Hey, now I would kiss Daisy Ridley. I think that might be quite nice. But then she does look like a boy, so that might be it. But,
I was going to say, are you saying she's a handsome woman?
Is that an insult these days?
Is that a thing now, though?
Yeah, is that a thing?
No, that's an old saying.
Oh, handsome woman. Oh, it was a compliment.
Yeah, I thought that was a compliment too. I guess
I thought it meant the chick was fairly manly or masculine looking.
Oh.
I could be wrong.
Strong jawline.
There you go. Can take a punch too.
She had a world at her feet,
strong
and then
jawline.
she starred in Star Wars, and she was done for. Definitely, nobody's hiring her anymore.
Well, she was in something recently which didn't only make like $1 million.
Yeah, that feature film. Yeah, it's not very good. Apparently,
it's because acting is not exactly her strongest asset.
She was trained. Her mum coughed up a lot of money for her to go to the right schools and stuff. So.
Common people shouting, "Leave my Daisy alone, you bastards!"
Also, going to the right school by no means guarantees that you will actually be competent in what you're doing. Look at the number of people from Eton currently in the cabinet, for example. It's almost a guarantee that you'll be shit, in fact.
I know.
Movie Cynic, you a fan of Daisy?
No. She's absolutely nothing special at all.
I don't know. Is there any good pictures of her, like in sexy attire or something? Because that's the best way to judge.
That's the best way to judge.
It's true. Attractive wise, the best way to judge, because all we've seen is wrapped in cloth and stupid costumes and stuff like that. I haven't seen a picture of her, looking hot or anything.
Too many clothes is the problem. Yeah, the gold bikini, Leia's gold bikini would save her career.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Comment of the night, and I think we'll just leave this up for the rest of the stream. Steph's abused keyboard. I bypassed the compressor. Boom.
I'm looking her up. Daisy Ridley. Daisy. Not any relation to Scott. Yeah, she's not bad. There's some nice pictures here of her.
What was that sound you just made? Hold on.
I didn't do that.
You just came.
There's a nice picture of her. There's a nice picture of her on the beach.
You know, Brown?
On the beach. She's looking a bit hot there.
Because I did.
She's looking hot here. She's not bad looking.
Okay,
when she's done up.
Ian, I feel like your standards are a bit low at times.
Well, he hasn't got any, so they're not low. He hasn't got any. Here you go, Princess Fiona. Daisy.
He's projecting. That's what he's doing.
I've never said I've got any
I'll send you this
standards.
picture. I'll send you this picture.
She looks like an average cutie, like dressed up. Like there's
Cutie.
nothing particularly spectacular, but she's not
She's
ugly.
not ugly. No.
She's
But
cute.
ugly.
She's not butt ugly.
Yeah.
Not but ugly. Let's move on.
Ugly. Yeah. She's got small boobies though. Then again, I don't know when this picture was taken.
Okay, I tried to look up what this article was, but it was behind a paywall. But apparently, there's been some research saying that the best hunters in prehistoric times were women. Surprisingly,
Fantastic.
Like, no. Just no.
How would they even know that? Do we have any insight into this? Or what evidence is saying that women were better hunters than men?
Hold on. To clarify,
I couldn't read it because it would be on a paywall.
Is it okay? Do they mean at hunting like animals specifically? Because one could argue that women are better at hunting down, rich men to lock down.
That is true, yes.
So the context, I think, is very important.
Did they have rich men back in prehistoric?
Maybe
times?
He had all the spears in the village, or the best, like cave hut or something like that. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I think this is pre-money, maybe? I don't know.
Other forms of wealth, like you have the biggest penis, or
I
you
was gonna
bring the
say
most
girth,
meat back to the
length.
house. Yeah,
Right.
girth and length are important characteristics, but it's the basic
Fire.
biology contradicts
Essentially.
this. Like, if you can actually break down and look at the structure of the male wrist and the male shoulder versus the female wrist and the female shoulder, and the male arm, the entirety of the male arm actually functions differently. When you close a fist as a man, your bone structure aligns in a way that's just fundamentally different from a woman's, and that's because we've evolved to punch things in a way that women have not. And the meme and the stereotype about women not being particularly good at throwing things is actually rooted in the way the shoulder is constructed, because women by and large weren't going around throwing things when they were evolving in prehistoric times, where men typically were. Like, there were always outliers. Some of the best slave takers in history were those Wahomey women thing that the Woman King was based on. And normally we associate, going around and kidnapping people and taking them as slaves as a male endeavor, but it turns out the women were quite good at that in that situation. But as a general rule, it was hunter-gatherer societies where, the men go out and kill one thing a week, and the women do agriculture.
Just to add on, this isn't also. Oh, who did we just lose?
Rennie's gone critical mass. She'll be back in a minute.
All right.
It's because I put wank on screen, you see. That's what she just couldn't handle it. We do wank better. It's true, yes.
There's physical evidence that women were typically gatherers in all of these older communities, like dating back to the Ice Age. So I don't understand how you can debunk a myth that has physical evidence eliminating the myth factor,
That's their MO, isn't it? They don't want to believe in logic. So there you go. There's these type of people.
If women are such better hunters, why did we evolve to be so fucking indecisive about the most minuscule of things? Like, I'm debunking this myth right now. There you go.
There you go, folks. Vex has spoken. That's it.
I automatically distrust all of this stuff after the Museum of London stuff from the last couple of the weeks. The plague disproportionately impacted black women. And how did we find this out? Well, we didn't know if the skulls were actually from black people, or indeed if they were really women. And there were only 3 of them that we did a proper study on. But we've concluded based on this that, yes, black women in London in the 1500s were disproportionately impacted by the plague, which wiped out half the population of Europe. And the methodology behind that study is an absolute joke. But yet that's reported as a headline because news organizations are shit. So whenever something like this comes out, I just automatically disbelieve it until they prove otherwise.
Is that the point, though? They know it's complete bunkum. So the younger generation just think, well, it's the internet, must be true. So even though they know it's wrong, they've done what they set out to revise. It's a revisionist history, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not even sure it really rises to the level of history, but it's definitely revisionist. But from the news perspective, I think a lot of these outlets just publish headlines like that because they know all the comments underneath will be from men saying, what the fuck are you talking about?
Clicks. All them clicks.
It's all them clicks. Okay. Anything to add, movie? Anything to add?
No.
Okay. Okay. Get in the bin. Special week this week. It's a double get in the bin. I couldn't decide. Yeah, I couldn't decide which one.
Double bin?
Yeah, it's a double bin, yeah. Yeah. Shall we do the first one?
Sure.
Yeah.
Anybody see that? This is for the Brits, mainly.
I laughed at this one for a long time.
I'm still laughing.
First off, who is this?
The guy's called. See, I've done some notes. I don't often do notes, but I've done notes. Nihal Afanayaki, a BBC Radio 5 Live presenter, has claimed that his overwhelmingly white working environment is damaging his mental health.
Go back to India then, bro. There you go.
Sri Lanka, apparently.
Okay, go to Sri Lanka. Oh, you won't go there though, because right now they're in the midst of a massive civil overthrow. So of course you're going to go to a country where you have an infinitely better life and complain about fucking bullshit like this.
I think he gets paid about £150,000 a year.
Honestly, these people like this have no purpose in life or in society. Like, I really find if you are so triggered by really basic everyday things, I have no reason to support you as a human being, as a living thing whatsoever. This is ridiculous. This is regression.
I know the BBC are very, very big on the diversity quota, but apparently, I think 80% of BBC employees are white. The rest are from other, which is quite a lot, really. It's not really kind of representing what it is in real life. They've just gone.
It depends which area of the BBC you're looking at as well, because if you look on the on-air talent alone, then it's disproportionately minorities. Like weathermen are about 90% gay, for example. So like, if you want,
raining men, hallelujah, it's raining men.
If you want actual, population representation, you're going to have to sack a lot of gay weathermen and a lot of black news anchors to get it back down to the national average, because 3% of the population is black. So like, these people don't really follow their thoughts through to conclusion, because if they did, then they wouldn't like the result. But it's revealing of the double standard, because if I were to say on Twitter something like, "Oh, the problem is that London is overwhelmingly black and it makes me feel unsafe," that's a hate crime, and someone will report it.
Absolutely,
which is why I've just brought it out on your stream now, Brown, so you can get indicted instead of me. But
why don't you go to? You could go to Sri Lanka and moan about that there's not enough whiteys.
I could go to Saudi Arabia and say the problem is, guys, there's too many Muslims here, and there's not enough gay liberal atheists, and they will hang me after stoning me.
I don't understand why you would say something like that. I mean, not you, Ben, but like why he would say something like that. If you don't want to be there, don't be there. But it doesn't. People can't help what they're born into. I just don't understand the point of making a statement like this.
Do you think he knows what he's doing to provoke this reaction? That it's like a 4D chess move, just to fucking stir it up.
It's a virtue signal to the extreme to get some attention and to be relevant and to speak to the narrative.
The guy's in his 50s, by the way. Same age. I think he's a couple of years younger than me.
Who is he?
Oh, have I got to say his name again? Is
some BBC radio something or other presenter, I think.
I think they got rid of the whitey. If I remember, I used to listen to Radio 5 Live a lot. If I remember correctly, they got rid of the whitey presenter and replaced with this guy, Nahal Athanayaki.
All right. Is he gay?
No, he's married, kids, all that bollocks.
Okay.
I think he's equal parts playing into this will get clicks, and he believes this shit. Like, I've met a fair amount of people who do. Like, I think most of the people we encounter day to day are pretty central. Like, oh, I'm okay with trans people, but I don't like kids being transitioned, kind of deal, right? But there are genuine people that believe this shit and they push this shit all around. So I feel like he's on both sides, and especially if you're in a very liberal left-leaning bubble like the BBC has become, I can see how you would start to believe stuff that you would have thought is bullshit just 5-10 years ago.
Okay, I will say, got rid of Whitey. Yeah, I think the presenter was, I forget the name of the presenter. I know he was a honky, as it were. He was white. So
English, we'll say.
English, yes. I used to listen to his show. I thought it was pretty good.
Who was the guy?
Say again, sorry?
Who was the guy before him?
I can't remember. This he's been this. I think this. He was. He came on air just before he started his show just before lockdown. Obviously, I've slept since then, but I actually thought this guy was all right as a presenter. But I just feel like this is just to stir it up.
Well, it's that, but it's also, it's actually profitable still to be saying this sort of thing amongst all of his friends will applaud him for saying this. And the kind of society he wants to mix in will applaud him for saying this. There's no disincentive to say, oh, I feel fundamentally unsafe around white people if you want a promotion in the BBC, because that's the overwhelming attitude that exists there. It doesn't work the other way around. And I think at some point, we probably do need a disincentive to do this. It wouldn't necessarily, except for the fact that the law would be drawn up by the kind of people that agree with him. Otherwise, I would say what we ideally need is a fairly sane, sensible, and minimalist legal definition of racism. And so false accusations of racism are tantamount to legally actually justified as slander, and so can be prosecuted as such. And also saying that I feel fundamentally unsafe around an entire group of people could also be seen as an actually racist statement, which it is fundamentally by the same philosophy that this guy kind of ascribes to. That is kind of racist, except that you can't be racist against white people for some reason. But we don't have an actual definition of these things, and so that allows people like him to be racist against entire groups of people. And those groups of people cannot do the same thing in return because they would actually be brought up in front of a court.
This Radio 5 Live, certain aspects of BBC moved up from London to Manchester. I know this guy moved from London to Manchester. So there's kind of the London champagne circles, I suppose. So he's used to... It's just the kind of mindset of what they say down there.
He feels unsafe. Doesn't feel safe with white people.
Yeah, it's damaging to his mental health to be surrounded by so many white people.
Northerners, yeah.
But this is England.
Yep.
I'm confused.
I don't feel that way about being around other heritages or, gene pools, whatever. That doesn't bother me. So why would somebody say something like this? That's just hateful. And if that's the case, then why are you in the area that you're in if you notice that it's offensively Caucasian? I don't understand.
Nor do I.
But he's allowed to say it.
He's not allowed to say it.
He wouldn't have been carted into HR the following day and given a stern talking to, would he? But if it was it was one of us saying the opposite,
No, HR would reach out to him and ask, like, oh, well, what can we do to make it easier for you? Or I'm so sorry you feel this way. What makes you feel like this? And, that's exactly how that kind of situation would be approached, at least in America. So, but if you were to do it the other way, then they would be like, well, Brown, we appreciate diversity. You're going to need to go ahead and broaden your horizons.
So, see ya.
Yeah. So,
movie, any comments, any thoughts?
Not on this.
Smart move.
Yep, I'm good.
I know it's a hot topic, this. I'd probably incriminate a few things I said. Perhaps I was a bit, but never mind. It's just wanker. This is the other get in the bin story. Anybody see this?
It's Greta.
Mm-mm.
No, it's not Greta. Sorry.
She looks too healthy to be Greta.
I was going to say.
She's an Irish journalist. She's renowned for stirring it up a bit.
She's a journalist? I thought she was a kid. She looks 12. She looks 12.
That's an old photograph as well.
No, she's got too many lines on her neck.
Oh, don't talk about neck in front of Blue.
They're coming after Santa Claus now. Why Santa Claus is a white privileged far right. It is well documented that there is no gender equality or diversity at Claus's North Pole workshop.
Oh, honestly.
I don't know who she is, and I've not read the article. I'm guessing this is another example of the left can't meme. I suspect she's writing this to try and be funny, and she's just not funny because none of this is funny.
Trying to be ironic and funny. Epic fail.
I'm not even going to... the ongoing oppression of and black elves leaves us in no doubt that both Claus and his cis wife are racist.
How?
Happy,
How do you
happy
come to that
fucking
conclusion?
I
Christmas,
don't
love.
recall any of that being a thing, but
Happy
okay.
fucking Christmas to you, love.
How do you come to that conclusion? It's stupid. You know, it really is.
So
Never
that you're
mind.
writing for the Irish Times. If I were writing for the Irish Times, I'd be more concerned about the mental health of people whose kids are predominantly being stabbed by people who aren't white. Like just as a just a potential option of something you could be writing about that's not this.
Yeah.
But if the last guy can say it, then I guess we can too.
There you go, Carlos Delfino. Hello, my friend. Yes, I think Lord is right. It's supposed to be a joke. I did have a look at some of her other stuff, and she's one of these really extreme lefty fucking bullshitters. So it's probably true, unfortunately.
I'm trying to find the article right now. What's her name? Kitty Holland.
Kitty
Yeah.
Holland. It is the thing, because you can't actually tell for sure whether these people are trying to be funny, even because they could genuinely believe it, which is staggering.
I mean, there are people that are fucking. For instance, in Canadian Parliament just this past week, they were fucking trying to debate about why Christmas should be canceled because it's an inherently supremacist holiday, and that's in the Canadian House of Commons, where all of our and by a surprise, Justin Trudeau said no. Christmas is not racist. So there are people that genuinely believe this shit and are talking about it.
He's gay, isn't he?
I don't know what he is anymore.
Shooting from the hip.
What, Justin Trudeau?
So
Yeah,
to speak,
he
or
is.
was
He's
it-
gay.
Yeah.
Justin Trudeau is whatever the majority of the people he's speaking to are. So like, he's Indian when he's in India, and he's black when he's at university, and he's gay when he's speaking to probably his husband.
You go,
Really
Whalen
think that he
Cephas for
is.
$2. When did the Irish become?
They're
I
not.
don't like saying that
Well,
word.
most
but
of them
They're not.
aren't. They're
Yeah.
not.
They're
It's
not.
just the people who write for like the Irish
Right.
Times and
Yeah.
the people who are in the Irish Parliament. Most of the Irish people don't go along with this kind of thing. I was in Ireland last year, and the immense amounts of based commentary from Irish taxi drivers. That the first conversation I had, first thing, I
Jeez.
didn't even bring it up. He brought it up and said, "Oh yeah, the problem is there's too many like immigrant taxi drivers and they're pushing me out of business." Like, okay, I've been here for 5 minutes, but it's good to know where you stand. No, most of the Irish people don't go in for this kind of shit at all.
Wow.
I'm not finding this article at all under her stuff on the Irish Times.
Maybe
I
they
must have
pulled it.
hallucinated that.
Yeah, they may have pulled the article.
Maybe they pulled the article.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't blame
I
them.
can't even read it anymore.
She's in,
Oh, that's
she's
not
in
good
it,
then,
yeah.
is it? So if it was a joke,
It was a joke.
it fell very flat then. I don't think it was, because I'm sure she's done stuff like this before. She just likes to. It's just their mind virus. It's just what they think. The people like this, they just want to take the. If there's any pleasure out of life, they just want to take it away. It's by their rules.
Are we sure that this isn't one of those things that they do with Guardian journalists, where people spoof the style of the headline and
That's
they
what
just
I'm
write
wondering.
like a joke version?
Yeah, is this an
No,
edited?
I'm sure I read
screenshot
that. I'm
that you
sure
put
I
in?
read it.
Well, the joke about that is that everything they say as a joke is so believable, but nevertheless, that like sometimes these things pop up and they're not actually real.
Is this an Onion article?
Okay, no name, nameless, no name. It was a joke.
So I guess we're putting Brown in the bin then this week.
Okay, yeah,
Brown goes in the bin.
No,
Set it on fire.
Fake news,
No.
Brown.
No. Okay. Maybe.
Out the window, Brown.
Fail.
Well, it's
Epic
coming,
fail.
folks. It's going to happen one day. So I'm just.
What? Where you jump out the window?
I'm outside now. I'm
Do
on
it
the ledge
live.
jumping. Do it live. Do it live. No, I'm sure I read this because normally I don't do the research, but I just thought this is so preposterous. I
Yeah, so
need
they
to have
must
a look
have
at it.
removed it. Maybe
Yeah.
the
It's not
backlash.
something to say live on your own stream. Normally, I don't do research and anything live on the stream.
Yeah, I'm doing it the B-Sup way.
That's right.
Oh, lordy.
We'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah. It's fucked anyway. Let's move on.
Oh, finally.
And finally,
And finally, in fact, tell you what, we'll do a super chat.
£5.
I will say when I need to do background research, I will do it. And that was one of those. I
Hashtag
felt
fact check.
Backpedaling.
hashtag double tracking, double backing, whatever, I don't know. Here you go, common people for £5, real money, allegedly. As my old dad used to say, you wouldn't mind if that Timothée Chalamet licking your spoons, would you? I think that's for you, Lord. Big week for you this week.
Yes. And no is the answer. No, I wouldn't. I would not mind.
You'd lick his spoons then, yes?
Either way,
Actually,
yes.
I saw the trailer for it. It looks quite funny, actually.
That's Wonka,
Wonka.
by the way, everybody.
Yeah.
It's a risk, though. That's a very risky role to take on following such an iconic, turn in that role previously. And of course, it's a prequel. So it's hard to escape the comparisons, I guess, with Gene Wilder. But I don't know. It would be nice if it did turn out to be surprisingly good. I just reckon it'll be bland and generic, but I hope it won't be.
No, there was Vex will concur that I had a slide that said favourable review.
Mhm.
Yes, Vex.
I think the one negative thing I've seen about Wonka is that there's fat jokes in it. Like there's fat naming jokes.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Might
Yeah,
be good
that
then.
most negative thing. Also, is it
Oh, dear.
Dune WB? Is that Warner Brothers?
Or is it June?
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
Dune.
Is it WB? Because I'm just wondering if maybe contractually he's obligated, so they just shoved him in this movie because he's a
Yeah,
hot
maybe.
young thing.
That's a
Yeah.
good.
Here you go.
thought.
Mega Spider-Man. Fuck research. Mr. Brown 2023. Well, most of it. I occasionally when I need to, put it that way.
Hugh Grant's in it.
Yes, he's the little Oompa Loompa that you see in
Yeah.
the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite
Yeah,
funny in the
that-
trailer.
I'm interested to see that aspect of it.
I'm waiting for Peter Dinklage to come out and say it's really insulting that the actual dwarf wasn't cast to play the role of the Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, that'll be next week. Don't worry. Okay.
Oh, don't worry. He'll eventually say it.
Yeah, that'll be.
It's his fault though, isn't it? That they what is it? The dwarfs and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
well,
it's
Yeah.
his fault.
I want to know why Willy Wonka's childhood was far more racially diverse than his adult.
Oh.
That's what I would like to know. There's the burning question for continuity.
Well, it's out this week, so you can find out.
Is it next week it's out, or is it this week?
Yeah, it's this week. I'm sure it's this week. Yeah, it's this week in Blighty.
Oh, I thought it was December 15th.
Yeah, I'm sure it's this week. Unless if I hallucinated, which is highly likely.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we do them finally?
Yes.
Yeah, finally.
Okay. I thought I'd just pop this in.
Oh,
Catherine O'Hara honouring Macaulay Culkin at his Walk of Fame induction today nearly brought a tear to a glass eye. So that's the one from the. Thank you. That's the one from the top. Still is from the film
Home Alone.
And that was the presentation. And my computer's doing ghost presses.
some kids they grow up to cute kids grow up to be handsome, but
Like you.
didn't work for him, did it? Let's face it.
Oh,
I know, but he had some issues, and I think whenever he was like in the midst of growing up as a childhood actor, he got a little bit too into drugs and stuff.
Bolivian.
And it really, really messed him up, you know.
What about the little guy that was in Sixth Sense? He hasn't aged well either, has he?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Haley Joel Osment
There we
looks
go.
like a chubby version of his younger self.
Was he in The Boys?
He was.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, season 4 trailer
Yeah.
dropped this week as well. But anyway, that derailed it. Sorry, folks. Okay. It is a great Christmas. It is a Christmas movie, yes.
Yes.
Or is it Thanksgiving?
No,
On
it's Christmas.
Christmas.
It's,
He doesn't have to work ever again because every time that film plays, he gets paid.
Yeah, he gets residuals or whatever.
He gets loads of money. Just
Yeah,
like
folks.
Noddy Holden, he every time his song's played at Christmas time, he gets money as well.
it's Christmas. It's December, folks. Can you believe it? December.
The month
do-
after November.
I do like Home Alone though. I think Home Alone's a fun movie. I don't care what anyone says. It's too violent. Shut
Well,
up.
I
here you
think
go.
it's cute.
Larry hated it.
Yeah, well, Larry.
You know,
Well, Larry's
It's-
can
classic slapstick comedy.
Yeah.
Either you like it or you don't. So I mean, some people aren't into that. I don't begrudge them that.
You go, Larry, very generous, Larry. You are beyond generous. Thank you, my friend. $20. I was going to go $20.
Might as well said it in the
Made you
Jamaican
look.
accent.
Brown sucky for $20.
$20.
Well, now you have
Love
to
you a
pay up,
long
Brown.
time.
Find out where Larry lives.
Well, he's got money. There you go. Oh, sorry, I pressed it again. That's another 20, Larry. Sorry, mate.
So did he get
shit.
star on
Pressed
the
again.
Walk
Sorry,
of
Larry.
Fame?
Shit.
Did he get star on the Walk of Fame then?
He did, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah, he was blubbing
Was he?
when his on-screen mom said a very, very nice speech.
What about
about
his
him.
dad?
Did you hear that creak? That was the sounds of Ian's joke then. Okay.
Slowly dying.
It wasn't a joke, it was a question. What about his
Oh.
dad? Where's his dad? The guy
That's
that
a
played his
question.
dad.
Cynic, do you know where his dad is? I don't. Do you, Cynic?
No idea.
Pex, you're up with films. You know where his dad is?
Donald Trump?
No, that was the second one.
He'll be in prison soon, don't worry.
I don't remember. I haven't seen the first film in a very, very long time.
Same
so
here. I've probably seen
Didn't
it
he
maybe
pass
twice.
away?
Yeah,
The guy
that played his dad?
He
Yeah.
died, yeah.
Did he die? Are you sure?
Yeah, he passed
No,
away. I thought
he
you
went-
meant his real life father. I didn't know you meant his Home Alone father.
He
No,
went
it's
out for
Home Alone
cigarettes.
It's Home Alone father. That's what I
Yeah.
mean.
Oh.
You know, where's the father? Because the mother's there, but the father's not.
There you go.
Yeah, he
They're all
passed away.
went out for cigarettes.
And what about Buzz? Where's Buzz, his brother?
Went for milk.
Oh Lord, who
Selling
knows?
encyclopedias. Okay. On that bombshell. Shall we finish it there, folks?
Do
Thank
it.
God.
2 hours. Yeah, thank you. Okay, there's Elon. So I think that's it, folks. Chat, you are wonderful. Thank you for all the interactions. Thank
I
you
like
for all
Elon.
Well, we'll see.
I like him.
That's it, folks. Ian likes.
Elon.
That's all you need to know.
That's
I would
right.
say thank you for the super chats, especially the super chats. Keeps the lights on. So appreciate that, boys and girls. So
Indoors.
chats, you are wonderful. I will thank the guests from the bottom. Reniel.
Well, thank you, Brown. No, it
Can't
was
do
great
this,
to be
actually.
here and interact with you guys. Thank you, Brown. Thank you to the panel. Thank you to chat. Just an FYI, I just have
What?
to gloat about this because I'm excited about it. But
We're
my
married.
1 year anniversary is coming up on December 9th, next Saturday. So I'm super excited.
Are you married? Didn't know
Oh
you were married.
yeah,
Fuck,
did
when
I
did that
forget to tell
happen?
you?
When did that happen?
So yeah, it's going to be a really exciting week. So I'm super psyched and super happy.
Good for you.
Congrats.
I have the best husband on the planet, so leave me alone.
Yeah, Brown's jealous. So,
Yeah, I know. He sucks.
Welcome to my world. Okay. Cheers, Ian. Thank you.
No worries, no worries.
I'm gonna jump out of order here. Little platoon. Cheers, Lord.
Thank you as ever.
Vex. Thank you. I think.
She's
You
too-
think?
She's too busy
on.
with the banana.
Your whiteness is offending me with that statement. Just
Oh,
everywhere
I'm
I go.
sorry. I must do harder. Sorry, Vex. Sorry.
It's always a
Vex.
good time being here. Thank you for having me.
And last but by no means least, genuinely miss this guy. It's been a while. The man, movie cynic. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, guys. It's good to be back.
Great
Mm.
to have you back, my friend. I think that's it, folks.
Adios.
Question: is there a beast up tomorrow?
I have to. No, I have too much shit I have to do.
Okay, so that's it then, folks. We will. I think we're going to be back Wednesday doing something. So that's it, folks. If we don't see you Wednesday, have a great week. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Tally bye. Very
Bye.
heated tonight.
Bye.
Take
Eat
care.
all the
Bye.
dicks.
Tally bye.